Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the EU finale of the Main Gaming NA versus EU Showdown. I'm Stento, one of your hosts here, once again live with my good friend Blitz5. We're here on his channel today, and what you're looking at right now is the EU team list. 17 teams have been battling it out throughout the course of 30 matches, and today we're going to whittle that team list down to 8. Will be going on to the finals. If you are just joining us, we'd like to give you a quick overview of the prize pool. It is a $5,000 prize pool, but there's $1,000 going to the regular season. You can see 500 to North America, 500 to Europe. And as we switch over to the next screen is going to be our finals, where you see $4,000 is going to be going to the top 5 placements. And this is where we'll see 17 teams, 9 from North America and 8 for EU, battling it out for these prize pools over the course of the next 2 weekends. And just a quick look at our map rotation of the day here. We're gonna chop off the backside, so we're only going to be playing 2 Orangles and 2 Miramars tonight, as this is somewhat of a makeup match day for some server issues we were dealing with in the middle of the season. But we'll take a quick look at the scoreboard here as well to give you guys a good idea of what's really going on. And as you can see, Kinetic 7 on top. They've got a little bit of a buffer here today, almost 60 points between them and the second place team, Winner's Circle, who is literally neck and neck with Torch here at 253 points. And rounding out our top 4 money spots is going to be Kinetic 1 with some really consistent gameplay here. But as we've been mentioning throughout the course of the regular season, 8 of these teams are going to be going on to the finals, and it's really starting to heat up here, Blitz. As you can see, Team Toxic holding that 8th spot with 135 points, so that's going to be the benchmark for these teams on the outside looking in to make up that ground there. And it's going to be just about 20 points for about 3 teams here. We're going to keep our eye on Ace Esports, we're going to keep our eye on Nitrous Esports, and Team Euro here as well. And right now, I'd like to switch it over to Blitz. We got some awesome stats we like to share with you guys, highlight some of our top killers, top damage dealers, and Blitz, take it away.
Yeah, how's it going, everybody? QDEX leading the way with 80 total kills, just absolutely fragging it out. But Ghost has been right behind him here, as we've seen. So Winner's Circle taking that 2nd spot, and then 3 members of Torch, and they're our 2nd place team. And excuse me, guys, I'm just dealing with some throat issues. We've been really going heavy here on the casting, so many words per minute, as I like to say, but we're still sticking it out here. And this is the final day of EU, and then we'll have a little bit of a break until we get into the playoffs this weekend. QDEX leading the charge again for the damage dealt. Ghost in 2nd, 2 members of Torch, and then Code Red Gaming Travs to round out the top 5. And a cool statistic here that we like to look at here, especially Stento, showing off Torch versus Winner Circle. You can take a look at their kills very close together, damage dealt very close together, average placement close together, and average points exactly the same. The difference here is just the kill amount from Torch is a little bit higher, and that's separating them. Sento, if you want to take over the MVP. Sorry, my throat is just giving out here a little bit. Apologies, everybody.
No worries at all. Just give me a quick second to switch screens there as you go. There you go. QDEX, we talked about it a number of times yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, to be holding a 97 Twire rating throughout a 30-game regular season is, I'm not going to say it's unheard of, but that's kind of the only words that come to mind, because this is just insane stats. And you can see very good at attacking, stealing kills, and surviving is kind of what's leading his scores there. But heck of an introduction there, Blitz. Let's switch it over and show the map for now, and you can see where the plane path is going. We're starting up at Stalber and heading down right to the Novo military base island. So we're going to be hanging out on the east side of the map here, ladies and gentlemen. And gosh, this is a very interesting start to the day here, Blitz. It's going to probably lead to some hot drops in addition to the excuse me. I actually need to switch the server here. I think we're on NA.
All right, if so, is it on NA? Let's take a look. We are on NA. Do we want to back out and just reset this?
Yeah, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back when this lobby gets set up. Just give us a quick moment.
Yeah, we'll be right back. We'll hit intermission. Stick with us. We'll get this switched to EU. 1 second. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. After a little delay there, we just wanted to switch up the servers back to EU. Got to make sure that the server every time is on EU for the players out there so they have the best experience. But then once we get over to NA versus EU Showdown, we're mix matching the team stent. Are we going to be kind of switching the servers? Are we going to do kind of like 2 games on EU, 2 games on NA? Has anybody talked about that or flip-flopping every time?
Yeah, lots of people were curious how that was going to go. And after discussing with our moderation, we're going to do... okay, let me quickly explain how the finals are going to work. As soon as we finish with our regular season this week, this Saturday and Sunday and next Saturday and Sunday are our 4 match days for the finals. We're going to play 6 matches per day for a total of 24 matches. Each day is going to switch servers. So Saturday will be NA, Sunday will be EU, and the same thing next week. So these players will be kind of subjected to playing on the other servers. You know, you kind of go from, you know, typically 50, 60 ping to probably up in like the low hundreds. So just trying to even the playing field as much as we can as we do kind of combine these servers. This isn't a LAN event. We're online, ladies and gentlemen, and we're doing all we can to just kind of even the playing field best we can. But there you go. Match 1. The players have loaded into the plane. It looks like we're heading from George Pool down to Milta tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And I like to give a nice little description of our league here while we're waiting for our teams to drop. Make sure we keep an eye on the plane path for any hot drops. But I want to welcome everybody to the main gaming NA versus EU Showdown. Obviously, right now we are hopping on board with the EU section right now. If Blitz can do me a favor, maybe we can pull up the 17 teams one more time. And as most of you know, we've started here with 17 teams in EU. Over the course of a 30-match regular season, we're getting to our top 8. We're going to go on to the finals versus the North American section, as we were just talking about. $5,000 are going to be on the line throughout the course of this event. $1,000 for the regular season, and a whopping $4,000, as you can see, for the finals when we do combine our 2 regions. So thank you very much, Blitz. It looks like most of our players are hopping out of the plane path here. I'm seeing a little bit of crowded areas in shooting range and strewn about throughout the bottom of the map here. We'll keep a close eye on this. This is a much more fair plane path than our slight North American server plane path there. So I think a lot of these teams are happy that we weren't just striping down the right side of the map over there. But lots to keep our eyes on here today. Again, there's about 3 teams on the outside looking in. That's going to be Ace Esports, Nitrous Esports, and Team Euro, all just around 20 points outside of that 8th spot, which is currently held by Team Toxic there in blue, holding Snake in the center of the map. So I will make sure we do our best to focus on all the storylines, but now more than ever, Blitz, it might be a good time to pick a team, really start to root for them to get across the finish line here.
Yeah, so for me, I think it's going to be NES. I'm not really sure why, because again, I don't have any affiliation with a lot of these players. A lot of them being EU, but we've just been tracking them so much. So I guess that's going to be kind of my team, Sento. Do you have one here? And as we just view, I wanted to show people that these 3 teams, they keep landing kind of in this bottom row here. It's NES, Toxic, and AE. These are the teams, as you mentioned, that are very, very close on the outside. But unfortunately for NES, they're missing a player. So this might kind of hurt their chances a little bit to solidify themselves into the finals.
Yeah, first circle has also popped, and it looks like we're heading over to that mansion area. Tons of water on the east side currently in play, so a little bit of a difficult zone for phase 1. We're going to see probably a lot of action as these teams try to pile into their first location right now with again, I just love seeing these circles that are on the coast and there's such limited area in phase 1 right now. Lots of the good areas already taken. Winner's Circle, P7 and RS are already there. There is Mansion in Heaven, very popular areas if this does kind of shift south generally. So we'll keep a close eye on lots of these teams here.
Yeah, and just want to quickly go back. Ooh, we saw RLX just take out one of Euro. They've been actually dropping on top of each other here at Rozhok, fighting it out early on. I was going to go to the scoreboard, but we'll take a quick look at this and then kind of revisit the scoreboard so you guys can see what's going on here. This is Bosnian, who is kind of one of the good play. Well, actually, all the players here have been stepping up for Euro, but we've seen him a lot kind of in the kill feed. So to lose him early is a little bit unfortunate. There's kind of this line of RLX. Rox is on the right, or Robe, I'm not sure how you pronounce that name. And then Nocino and Godly are on the left. And since they're not that close to each other, let's go right back to the scoreboard, though, because I really want to highlight, again, we'll keep looking at this. Kicked Out right now, who I think is in Lipovka, is in 7th, but they have a pretty good point lead. But you know, they can't be careful here. They have to be careful here. Team Toxic is right in 8th, the final spot with 135 points. Esports, whose AE is in 116. Nitrous is 113, and Euro is 111 right behind them. So freaking close. Even Code Red Gaming kind of has to watch out there as well. And this just makes for a really great kind of storyline here today. And again, here are some of the teams we just mentioned. Kicked Out in Lipovka, AEs in Milta, Toxic right here. And yes, down a team just outside the zone. We have to remember that, just quickly here, that Torch in EU is dominating the battlegrounds. Torch in NA is actually out of the showdown. So you have to remember that it's EU Torch is in 3rd place, and teams are going to have to watch out for that squad.
Yeah, they've definitely been making a name for themselves on the EU side of things. Torch has been around for so long. I think we're seeing a little bit of a roster reshake on the North American side, but we've seen very good consistency out of Luca and Ghost Luca and Fizz and Merc for that Torch squad right now. We're watching P7 pull up and get some shots on Kinetic 1. However, that's a drive-by by Ruzi. Puts down Ivix, and Kiss is also there for a knock onto Merc there. And there you go. A good play from Clyde to kind of come in and get Kisses. And you wonder why the rest of the team didn't pull up a little quicker. I actually see that Ruzi has dropped outside. So now Bonnie and Clyde literally doing a great job to even the stakes here. I didn't really realize that was their names.
Me neither. I just found that out now. It only took how many games and days to even realize that.
Just 3 weeks of a regular season, 30 games, but that's really awesome. But they are now in like a 2v2 versus Stikas and Invernix down there, so lots of mutual destruction here. And I think that we're gonna see some craziness in some of these games here. He's going outside for the res, and it might actually come back to bite him here, Blitz. But an impressive 1v1 win there. He has to hold this res now if he wants to get his teammate up. I don't think the other member of T1 is close enough to do anything. He's going to maybe try to lob a nade from 2nd floor over the roof or the edge of there. You have to imagine the comms.
Is it just Stikas left? He's the last one alive here with 2 of his members down. One more nade. I'm not sure where that one's going. It seemed really high onto the roof, Stento. I'm not sure what happened there. Or maybe he thought somebody was back on the roof. And yeah, 3rd party coming in from Winner Circle, who is our 2nd place team, and Ghost is going to pick up some kills. He's actually chasing QDex, as we saw in the kill and damage leaderboards. He's currently in 2nd place on those QDex in 1st.
And Blitz, I want to bring your attention to the map really quickly. The team that I want to focus on the most today is Toxic EU on the left side of your map. They're pulled up on someone right now.
Oh, this is NES. Both these teams can't afford this loss early, and it's NES going down. And Toxic is saying, we want to hold our spot, even if it means us being Toxic. They're in 8th place right now, and they're trying to hold on.
For them. Great start on the day for them. This is again our 8th place team. There's 3 teams that are within like about 20 points trying to make their way into the top 8, and that was one of them. NES unfortunately going down in game 1 here, and Toxic a little bit of weight lifted off of their shoulders with that squad wipe there. It looked like they were actually rotating and kind of were forced to pull up because NES started to shoot at them. So very interesting.
Yeah, that is really interesting here. And RS is immediately there. I think RS missed out on a game. They're not so far off, but at this point it could be pretty difficult. They're in 12th place to make it in, but there's probably still a little bit of a hope if they have some big games. Never want to give out complete hope. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, back-to-back games can be massive numbers, 30, 40, 50 points in some situations. So again, you really do got to stay locked in. It looks like Winner Circle pushed onto this compound where we saw T1 and P7 fighting for a while now in Winner Circle, playing this super aggressive. Looks like they already have a care package in their hands right now. And Ghost is knocked across the street. Macaz and Big Dog have pushed all the way up onto the 3-stack here, and they're using a little bit of smoke to kind of hinder the third-party shots that are starting to kind of ring out from several other teams, mainly RMV, as you can see on your screen, laying down some damage, even through the windows there on the north side. But this fight just turned interesting because there's still one above these guys. T-Cup pushes down, takes down Macaz, but Big Dog is there for the trade. So
and Pole's there on the other side with Ghost to kind of help take out P7. Pole's got a P90. This team constantly has care packages, Stento. I feel like every time we tap into Pole, he's got one. I think he just spotted Ivex hopping down, maybe not. Ghost is able to finish him up there. That was actually really well done. They stacked 2 people in the building here, the other 2 members on the other side to make sure that nobody got lost.
Well done.
And they did take 2 knocks there, Stento, so it wasn't easy, but they're going to be able to get back to 4.
Yeah, really good job. Nice 2v2 stacks there. And they're dead center of the zone, so they're going to be happy with that spot. RMV with the split just to the northeast side of them. It's kind of been ringing out shots. I don't think they're going to really be able to do too much right now. In Winter Circle, going to be able to get those knocks up. But it's a little bit of a tame early mid-game situation here. Lots of teams are comfortable in their own spot. AE, one of those teams that is on the outside looking into those top spots, has a really big spread on the bottom of the map there. You can see AE, Walshy all the way up to the north into Hall of Fame there. The rest of the team's closer to prison. So what's going on with Toxic there? They have a knock still, and are they getting a res? I'm not exactly sure what's going on. It looks like RS might be trying to get some angles here. Yeah, they're knocked on that ridge there, so they're going to be all right. It looks like Traits is kind of venturing out towards the road to get a little bit of a better line of sight onto this. He's going to be probably met by Swift at some point, though.
Yeah, I didn't realize that Swift had this kind of little bit of a dip here. It looked like he was just kind of out in the open there for Traits to get to shoot at him, but definitely okay. They might be calling him back over now. Let's see if anybody spots Traits. He's so far to the east that Chap could get kind of side-fired here, cross-fired. The other shot's coming in now. Chap, first one to get tagged up because he was highest on the hill, but they have this tree right here. I think they're going to easily be able to get back in. Sly. Always got to have someone on your team that's going to focus on getting that car into safety immediately. Sly looks like he's that member. I feel like that's always me, Stento, when I'm playing, is focusing on where's the car. Too. Don't lose the tires.
Are you picking everyone up as well? Are you always driving and you have to pick up all 4 members that are looting like on their own?
I feel like that's me constantly.
That's me. Oh my gosh. I always got to go pick people up and grab the car, and it's the work that doesn't get rewarded. You're doing all the hard work for the team, getting the car together, but on board with Kicked Out here, this has been a very interesting story. We've been following them since the beginning. They came out super hot in the regular season and then mega cooled off. They started out in like 3rd or 2nd place, and we kind of watched them drop all the way to 8th. They were incredibly close to dropping out of the qualification spots, and then they came up with a very big game, like a 13 or 14 kill 2nd place, I believe, that kind of dug them out of that slide they were doing, stopped the bleeding, so to speak. And right now they probably they're in a position where they definitely need to put some points on the board here today to maintain their current spot. And okay, we'll keep a close eye on these guys. They're in a decent spot on the south side of zone. Oh gosh,
Torch with the mini heady.
Yeah, and Merc's there for the cleanup. So Torch putting some more points on the board, trying to stay step for step with Winner's Circle. We saw that awesome team-to-team comparison. Maybe we can take another look here in a second, Blitz. But the teams we did choose for that comparison tonight was our 2nd and 3rd place teams.
This is NA. Sorry, this is NA. Let's go back to EU. Excuse me. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, no worries. I thought this would be an awesome comparison to do. They're locked in the leaderboard right now in 2nd and 3rd place, tied for 253 points. And this just gives you a little bit of an idea of where those points are coming from. The frag side is a little bit heavier to Torch rather than Winter Circle. 168 kills over the course of this regular season versus 150. The damage is pretty similar, still a little bit in Torch's favor here. And their placement and average points are just locked in. So just a ton of action coming out from these 2 guys over the course of the regular season, and just a fun little comparison to show you guys of how these top 2 teams have been operating.
Yeah, just because I saw some questions, and again, that's just one more time before we get back into the action, that for EU, all the teams play at once. For NA, we actually have more teams, so they're split into different groups that play different days. So after today, this is the finale for qualifiers for EU. So only 8 teams from these 17 will be moving on. So we got to keep track, and really, we'll know at the end of this who's moving on, no questions, because kind of what happened in NA last night was some teams finished up, but now there's still a few teams remaining that have to play tomorrow to finish it out. So it's kind of a weird ending with some people having to wait and no longer playing anymore. But obviously that's not the case here with EU.
I'm so excited for these 4 matches today because there's so many teams that can still jump their way from the right side of the leaderboard into the top 8. And right now, most teams are pretty comfortable. We're going to see the next circle just circled up, phase 3. Still sticking on this coast. We're going to see phase 4 kind of pull off that a little bit. So right now, TXC, AE, and several teams, COR and Torch, all in really good spots, kind of preparing for that shift off of the water. Looks like K7 and our MVP of the tournament right now playing a little harbor master situation. QDex is going to find himself a nice boomstick in there, and AWM 3 gear is going to be a choice for the first match of the evening for them. And look at this. Maybe our highlighted story of the evening, TXEU is holding that 8th place position, kind of leaking their way out of Mansion right now. They got RLX on their backside. It looks like Full is charging for the J compound. So
if we see anything over there, I'll pop over. RLX isn't leaving yet. I think they're going to let TXEU head over there and kind of create some separation. We're going to tap into our number 1 team here until we see any clashes. They were putting a lot of shots down at Euro as they came over, but it looks like they're just going to be kind of trading some shots back and forth. Nothing really is going to come of this, I don't think. Gav sees them peeking the window. Maybe he'll pop some helmets off if he can. We'll take this mini-map view, which kind of makes it easier. KO might be crashing.
Oh, yeah. What's going on with them?
They might be crashing on the back of RMV. It looks like Manu takes down Marco. I'm not sure. And Stimpy's also down. Not sure what happened with Stimpy. And they're crashing in on this building. It's going to get pretty hectic. We're going to tap in to RMV view. Takashi heading across the street. And that's the last member of KO very quickly there.
Yeah, that's bad news for KO. They are, again, one of those teams that's in right now. They have a little bit of a buffer until 8th place, but unfortunately dropping to RMV right now. Kind of start to stress them out a little bit right now. You know, only 3 matches left, Blitz, but they're going to probably need a couple of points to hang on to their top 8.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where RMV is. They're in 5th place. They've actually dropped the place. They were previously in 4th, but they're sitting kind of pretty right now. They have 174 points going into this game. So as long as they play somewhat consistent here, they should be fine. So they got to be happy wiping out KO there. Torch with
Everyone's
a really big spread.
In zone right now. Yeah, as you can see, it's RLX really that's not inside, and RS on the top of the map are the only teams that are kind of working their way into an edge here. They need to be careful. Torch is definitely extending out.
Torchmark might be able to catch RLX here rotating in, so I'm going to hop into their view because they're going to get pinched between Toxic at J compound and Merc here, and Merc has just been on point, so they don't want to really the last person you want to run into right now from Torch. And the circle looks like it's shifted back to the west. RMV, Toxic, kind of center, but in 2 very different compounds. K7 now in Euro have to leave. RS just got taken out on the top spot. Torch getting a care package. Trying to spot out who's around. Looks like they regrouped. Oh, we missed it. I said Merc was going to find these guys. And we missed him take out Reno. He was coming. Just when would he look over there?
It looks like Saint Star Fox is kind of being pushed to this direction too. And only a matter of time, Merc, one of our top kill leaders and damage leaders, along with a couple of his Torch team members, just doesn't miss those. It's easy cleanup for him in the end, honestly.
Yeah, he's so steady with the SLR, and we've seen him just doing work with the red dots lately. On point.
And they're turning their attention. It looks like they know Toxic is over there somewhere, starting to kind of trade out some long range shots. Toxic kind of running out of real estate on the southwest part of your mini map there. You can see they had a tiny little bit of the road on the side that they're on. Now you can see a little bit better that there's a very little amount of this compound left right now, and then they're going to be forced across the road where tons of teams are waiting for them. It's mainly RMV on the north side will be holding them out. Take a quick little look around the compound here. What do they have for vehicles? I'm not seeing much, Blitz.
No, because they came here on foot from Mansion. This is going to be really hard. I mean, your best bet is to try and I think rotate, use these rocks, get kind of to this sight line and head over to RMV, but they're going to need to make an amazing smoke wall to even have a chance at that happening. And who knows? We didn't really check what their throwables are looking like. The only benefit is that there's only 2 members of RMV on this side. So if they kind of push to the left a little bit, they'll have just these 2 people shooting at them. But that's not a position you want to be in, Sento, is leaving that compound without a vehicle. It looks like really quickly here that Euro got out first before K7. So we're going to tap into their view and see what they can do here versus K7. QDAX almost going down, but Godly misses opportunity. Took too long to get the knock, and the rest of the cavalry's coming in here. Gav, they're going to get the flush onto Godly, and the rest of Euro is kind of to the north side here, getting shot by Code Red. And you know K7's going to be quick to third party this and probably try to clean up both squads so they can take this side of the map. But now they actually have AE in the backside as well.
This is definitely going to heat up. And I think that this AE side is going to be a very interesting side to watch from. And they're actually one of our teams that I don't think we've had the pleasure of being able to listen to yet. So why don't we jump on board with Ace Esports and kind of maybe try to check out what they're looking at from that top side over there?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look. Let's go into PO's perspective and Walshy. They're looking that way. We'll hop into their audio now. Yeah, we haven't heard them. Why don't we take a listen?
We have to hold these.
These have to rotate to us, so I think what they do is they come around this north side where I am. I don't know if they know where I am, but I need to get out of here. I'm in a bad spot, really.
I got nothing on my helmet.
They're gonna do yellow run. There's nothing else I can do. It's the only logical thing. Core above
I've got vehicles, but
I'm just stuck here now, so I have to play spoiler. Unless you can watch me while I run.
I don't think you can. The hard focus in there. Yeah, I need to get off his fridge. Yeah, they're gonna keep one anchor.
And they're just edging up.
Yeah, they've kept 2 back. They've kept 2 back. I get knocked on fault. 1 headshot. I'm playing back to compound. I need a lead.
I'm blowing up the car.
I'm playing back to compound, Walsh.
No, run back out, Phil. Run out, Walsh. Just.
They've sent 2 at least. I'm getting shot
dead on
from
nade.
up top.
Oh, I'm being battered in the
You just
back.
under on nade the car. They're running up your left on my ping here, yellow ping. Taro's still anchoring. That's what's up. They're struggling to climb up. Maybe you can play res.
I need to med them dead.
Running up now. Still yellow. Ah, fuck it. Unlucky.
Torch just battered me in.
All right, we're back in with Stento here. I got to share my screen so Stento can get back in on the action.
Oh, yeah.
So that was, Stento, can you hear me here?
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're back in. So that was an interesting situation. They knew what K7 was doing, and K7 crashed. And really, I don't know if there was enough comms coming out there that they crashed. And the last anchor member from K7 really just stopped them from responding. And there's kind of a missed molly there opportunity. I think it just kind of caught them off guard how fast K7 moved in. And that's why K7 is, K7 and on top. And right here, we're seeing even more stuff happen. Winner Circle trying to rotate. RMV still holding the spot. Big Dog goes down. Ghost is going to take his hand at rotating. Thought we were going to see some sprays coming. Hacker trying to get that flush. But it was interesting to hear their comms for the first time, even though it wasn't for so long there.
Yeah, maybe we'll try to revisit them if there's a good opportunity later on today. But right now, this round's kind of been all RMV. They've been in a really good spot here after they won this compound. I forget who they took it from. Maybe they got here early, actually. I'm not sure. The fight was a little bit south of them. I think they were just here third partying for a while. So they've just been slowly kind of picking up kills as teams rotate by. Someone tried to hard crash. I think that was kicked out, and they took care of them really quickly. You can see they've been scrapping it up. Manu's vest and helmet are totally just ripped up. He's considering jumping into those boxes maybe for a little bit of a refresh right now, but there's too many smokes to the east side. They know Winner's Circle and perhaps another team Torch just on the other side there. So they're being really careful with considering looting out in the open there, and they also need to watch out for the northeast. As you can see, TXC in a decent spot as well.
Yeah, so Ghost is going to be hiding here, using this cover. Been here before, not a great place to be in. As soon as Torch moves into the zone, Winner Circle is going to get shot from behind.
Sorry to jump on, but K7 about to fight with Torch. Our first and third place teams about to clash on that edge right now.
I did
Tapping
not
into
see that
Gav's
K7 was
perspective.
heading this way. He's got 4
Yeah.
nades. So as soon as they get some good shots, imagine nades coming out. Lizard from Torch might respond here with a nade himself. I'm not sure if they know how fast K7's coming in right now. This is the perfect place to be on Gav leading the charge.
Yeah,
Looks like
lots
they
of
spawn-
action is about to break out. K7 playing this super aggressive. Both these teams are on edge, and Torch, Merc takes down QDex. This is going to be a big opening knock right now, but Anto and Tyro there for a double trade. Merc and Lizard are down. It's now a 3-on-2 in the favor of K7, so the tide's turning almost instantly here.
Wow,
Blitz.
big nade from
Another
Gav.
nice
That was a
nade.
long range one. He's going to go for the last one on the Fizz here. Who's at the tree, puts the nade up a little higher. And this is going to be good. It damages Fizz, doesn't take him out, and the molly hits the tree, so it's not going to really go anywhere.
Just so much pressure coming out from those util that you mentioned. Tons of nades and molly. The second that those knocks came out, those played a big factor because K7 picked up 2 kills with grenades in the middle of that fight, and the last member of Torch was kind of just left out. But this was always going to be mutual destruction. Neither of these teams are inside the zone, and Winner's Circle and RMV were watching this battle the whole time. We have to talk about the fact that we just missed it, but TXC got wiped out by Code Red Gaming. They're only too strong. I don't know how big of a fight that was, but we did miss it, and a very good job by Code Red Gaming to kind of take out that team that was in the compound there. And now RMV turning their attention to the 2-man of Winner's Circle, who are just kind of down into the shack. And wow, long range shots from Paul simultaneously with Ghost take down 2 members of RMV. Takashi has snuck way up though. He's kind of prone behind a tree. This would be the time to act. Paul has found him though with the P90. That gun is just too easy. Short range, close range, it can do it all. Paul has been put down to 1 shot as he goes for the thirst, and now RMV, man, had a big advantage there, and they're down to just 2 players.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. I was just about to say the same thing. They had the biggest advantage with all 4 up. Laying down there, I think, was a tough move because it's just so hard to respond to such a fast-moving team of Winner's Circle
Takashi
there.
was in such a good spot, Blitz. I just think he needed to act a little quicker or something because they were engaging long range, and again, maybe we got into Takashi's perspective a little late there, but I thought he should have jumped up and tried to engage while the other
And
members were
Ghost is
shooting long range.
responding from this flank. I thought K7 was just going to roll Winner's Circle from behind, and Tyro actually looks for RMV and gets caught from the right. I'm really shocked he actually looked left
Some
there,
great
Stento.
shots from all of these players, though. Really competitive fights here, and tons of these teams are picking up kills, man. We just saw K7 had 9, Winner's Circle has 9, RMV with a bunch as well. I'm not sure exactly how many.
They had
but
9 as
all
well,
of these
Stento. They
teams
have
are
10.
broken down. We're down to just 3 2-mans, it looks like. That all happened very quick, and just like that, Code Red found the res happening on Winner's Circle, and it's just a 2v2. Big kills for all of these squads, though. Code Red Gaming also have 9.
Yeah,
Teams
so
leading the way with 8.
yeah, all these teams, so many kills. Keeb's on fire. A 2v2 finish at the very end here. We didn't really tap into Code Red too much here. They took out Toxic, giving them another 4 kills earlier, just before at that compound. And now they kind of have RMV surrounded here, Stento. We're going to look at Cocky, who's kind of holding this left side on the tree. Keebs has this rock. RMV both stuck at this compound. You imagine the advantage kind of goes to Code Red here. But
Yeah, good job by Code Red to push up and kind of get these 2 angles and way better zone. So in time, RMV are going to have to push towards Code Red Gaming. So that was very proactive of them to clean up Winner's Circle and move right into this spot. And now it's just a matter of who's going to get shot, who's going to overpeak, who's going to land something and really open the door for a push. Or is it just going to come down to a little bit of a hold situation where time is going to play a little bit in the favor of Code Red Gaming, and RMV are just going to have to use some smokes and run out. That's kind of our only options here. And I want to see some shots, man. I want to see someone get a knock here and see if we can see a little 1v2 or something. But right now, just some hard angles being held by this Code Red Gaming team. Keebs and Cocky just in such a good position, and they know exactly where RMV are. So it's just a matter of time. Phase 7 right now, so we're not really rushed. All of this kind of broke out rather quickly. And we're going to have to wait all of phase 8, and then we'll have our dot circle in phase 9. So a couple more minutes before this really has to break out. RMV are going to want to consider maybe trying to catch them off guard here, going a little early, maybe using all of their smokes to push one way or something, because these angles are just too deadly for Code Red Gaming right now.
Yeah, they need to make sure they utilize these smokes really well. Looks like they're out to the right first. Cocky trying to get some shots. Peeks in at the right time to get cover. He's going to knock Manu. Hacker's really low health. Cocky making a smart move, not over peeking here. Going to go for the first aid. And Cocky,
Nice
Keeps
job.
finishes it off with a nade. And that right there, that was our 5th and 6th place teams. RMV in 5th place currently, Code Red in 6th. Code Red is 9 points behind. So after this, I don't know if they're going to leapfrog because RMV obviously coming in 2nd there. I forget the placements for 2nd. But Code Red's going to get an additional 10 points on top of their 11 kills for placing in 1st. As we saw RMV finishing in 2nd. Great match for them. And Winner Circle rounding out the top 3 with 9 kills of their own. A lot of people in that 9-10 kill range in that match. And we'll wave hello to everybody here. Let's see. We got our cameras going. Finally, time to say hello. In our final match of EU right now, our final set of games for the EU qualifiers. 3 full weeks. It's been quite the journey. We're coming to an end today. And that was a great first match. A lot of good action. RMV got a lot of circle love. Code Red kind of had to really fight it. They were on that north side fighting. Euro almost got caught by K7. Good rotations for them. We weren't really on board, but for them to make it there, they must have been playing pretty smart to stay alive on that north side out in the open without too much cover.
Yeah, I wish we kind of caught what happened with Code Red Gaming kind of mid-game there because they took an entire team out of a compound. So I'm curious how it happened, but it was just Keebs and Cocky that kind of moved in from that situation and cleaned up Winner's Circle and then won a nice 2v2 versus RMV. So a massive shout out to Code Red Gaming. They're probably going to be pumped about that. Takes a little bit of the weight off their shoulders for any sort of a slide out of the top 8 for sure. So they're kind of locking in their spot with that nice chicken dinner there. And yeah, lots of teams just picking up tons of kills, like Winner Circle, K7, RMV, Code Red. All these teams had like just about 10 kills. So there was some frag heavy teams really showing out there. And yeah, an amazing match 1. We're gonna go right back to Erangel for match 2. Just wanted to apologize to everyone really quickly. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty setting up the lobby and stuff to begin, but we're back on the roll. We've got 3 more matches coming to you, and we'll be back after a short break. So thank you very much. Do you want me to do a
All right, welcome back, everybody, to our finale of qualifying for EU. Can officially say that now. I was going to use some other words, but this is the finale for qualifying. Here are our EU teams that have been battling it out over the past 3 weeks. We're taking a look at the scoreboard at the end of the regular season, which is now for EU. These teams will be splitting $1,000, so $500 being split for Europe, $500 being split for North America. The last NA games are actually going to be taking place tomorrow night instead of tonight because of the PUBG console update. If you're listening now and you weren't aware of that, well, now you know. Servers will be going down a little earlier than normal now for that update in North America. Then once we start the playoffs and the finals, that's over the next 2 weekends, we will determine who are the best teams when NA and EU clash in the official showdown, and we'll be giving out an additional $4,000, which is absolutely incredible. Today, a little bit different. We're only playing 4 matches, so we're heading into game 2 on Erangel. Then we'll be finishing up with 2 on the Dusty Desert, and then the play path is coming. But let's just take a quick look at the scoreboard. It's not going to have that last game or the first game of the day in here. But, you know, if you're just popping in, this is what we're working with. The 17 teams. Left side of the scoreboard is going to be playing against NA this weekend. Excuse me, I should say the top 8. So Ace Esports there technically wouldn't make it in at this current juncture. So they're fighting really hard. Nitrous Esports, Euro. And I'm not sure if Retired Sinners have a chance, but I always like to kind of think that you do. And then Team Toxic and Kicked Out on that edge there, really trying to stick it so they can stay in the top 8. And here's the plane path right now, going from military base kind of up to Zarky and shooting range right now. So most teams are going to be able to get to where they want to go, I think, here, Sento.
Yeah, this is an awesome plane path. We have some really good options for our circles here. We'll have to wait and see, but there's a number of storylines to follow on that scoreboard. Who is going to take the top 4 places? Because in addition to qualifying, if you do come in the top 4, you take home a nice chunk of that qualifying change there. And then there's a number of teams, I think 3, 4, 5 teams that are trying to push their way from the outside into the top 8. So we'll make sure we're following those storylines throughout the course of the night. First game went to Code Red Gaming, who's in the top 6 already. So as we kind of mentioned, that's going to be a really good first game for them to kind of solidify their top 8 qualification. And we'll see what it did to the scoreboard here. I know a couple of teams that are on the edge is Toxic EU and Kicked Out. You can see them in blue and black along the bottom side of the mainland there. Those are a couple of teams we need to keep an eye on because teams NES, AE, and Euro are those 3 teams that are about 20 points behind them, really pushing for that edge spot. Yeah,
and Euro here. Looks like they decided to not drop on RLX and go to the Watertown. I like this. And one of them split up to the 4 buildings here by the intersection. So they might be able to catch some people on rotation here. Sent a lot of people going to be rotating in from this side potentially. You know, will anybody take this spot? We haven't seen too many people trying to block this area, but it's actually a pretty good strategy to do there, especially if you hold some vehicles on this side. You could easily bounce if you start to get third party. But we'll see if anybody gets that aggressive here. 3 more games for EU, including this one. It's going to be a northwestern circle on Erangel. We saw this a couple times recently. It's been popping up here as of late. Toxic, they're at shooting range. At least 2 members are, so they're in a really good spot. This is a great compound to hold. We saw T1 win a game here
this
week.
The team is split so crazy, Blitz.
Yeah, I still don't get this drop, Stento. You heard me kind of hating on this area the other day. I just don't understand this compound. It's just not that much loot here.
You're going to get a car. There's a car there. So you're landing there, you're getting a car, and you have 2 buildings. You're not going to get fully kitted there, but I guess you are going to get the car and get something and be able to rotate early is the only, that's it. That's your only argument for this being a good drop, right? I'm getting a car, I'm getting a little bit of loot, and he must have already taken it or someone else took it because it's a esports spawn that's right there, and then I'm sure of it, so he must have put it in the house or something like that. But a crazy split there. Yeah, I know you hate this drop.
Yeah, dude, this whole area, Sento, even these buildings over here, these shanties into this building, this whole area just is such a disaster zone. I feel like it's just not worth kind of taking, I mean, obviously this can be a power position sometimes, but with this zone, probably not. T1's actually making their way over now.
Yeah, another one of those first circles that just includes so much water. So the early spots that are going to be taken by some of these teams are going to get limited pretty quickly. You see shooting range, you see Severny, a couple other spots in there that are pretty popular. Some certain hills that teams like to pull up on with shacks and stuff that are very common. But there really isn't that many spots when a circle does this in phase one. It's why you kind of see some early rotation kills and certain teams getting into fights early on, whether that's crashing the same compound because of the limited spots to go or whatnot. We also see people oftentimes take this plane crash, so it's just another one of those spots that people will pull up in and kind of scout their next move here because they can kind of see all the way down the hill to the north. Looks like Euro just going to kind of full send this. If they are able to crash this compound, they're going to be met by just a solo here, so this is the risk of having a split this early on. Tayson's going to need to be really careful here because Euro's rolling up in a couple of whips and they're 4 deep here, all pulling up in 3 cars. So the rest of TXC is now on the bottom of your mini map. They're closer to Tayson than we kind of expected. Perhaps on foot, though. So this could break out quickly. Euro not going to slow down from any fight, as we learned over the course of the regular season here. On the backside, does he catch him on the tree? Rox is going to need to be careful. He's going to re-peek with a red dot. Some good shots landing from both sides. They're putting each other down to about half. The rest of TXC needs to show up, and they need to show up now. Blitz Euro is kind of getting a little bit comfortable in this compound. They have a member in the second story already, so they're going to have a little bit of an angle from the high side down, and now we're just kind of trading out Molotovs, trading out grenades. TXC did a really good job to kind of group up here and not leave one of their members out, kind of strung out here as a solo. So I love this pull up, and I love the jump up onto the roof here by Shang-Di, kind of evening the stakes in terms of the high side peaks here. And maybe we'll see a little bit of a stalemate here, but an awesome battle breaking out between TXC and Euro right now. And there you go, third parties have started to play a
comes in on the side. We just see as we kind of flip out to the aerial view where Ruzi and Benjo kind of had that view up there.
Yeah, Ruzi took him down from the south side, high side there, and one of the members from Euro stepped around for the thirst now, and now it's kind of just breaking down for TXC. They're going to get wiped pretty quickly. After that third party opened the door, they just flooded through the entrance, picking up 4 big kills. This is one of our teams in 10th place trying to make it their way into the top 8.
Yeah, Sento, really curious after the leaderboard updates where Euro's going to be. They just have 4 kills here, and yeah, let's see how they can kind of place, man. This is going to be really interesting to look at if it's, you know, too little too late, or will they have enough time here if they have some big games, trying to look quickly how many points they're out. They're only 20 points behind Team Toxic, 24 points. So I think there is a chance if they have some big games here and they get those plays. If they come in first 1 or 2 times, that would be, you know, 10 or 20 additional placement points for them. So definitely possible.
I'm not sure if Euro has won a game yet. We've talked about them as some of the most abnormal stats we've ever seen, Blitz, because they frag so hard, but they have like 20 total placement points over the course of 30 matches.
Yeah, so literally
horrendous.
Literally
like,
20
so
total
bad.
placement points. Everybody here, let me just show you guys, because you don't get this full view.
Please,
when you look at everything.
Ridiculous thing.
So let's take a look here. 1 second. We're gonna flip over to. We got a lot of different things on the production side here. This is a little less professional view, but we're going to zoom in. If you look at where they at Euro, this is the kill section, okay? And then this is their placement. Total points 111.
No, back. You're switching it around.
Kills is right here.
No, they have way more kills.
I'm
than
sorry.
20.
I'm sorry. You're right. I flipped it around. You're right. I'm sorry. Placement points is right here. Kills is right here. So look at the kills in the teams in front of them. 66 from NES, 72 from Ace, Toxic at 83. So they're ahead of all of these teams in front of them kill-wise, and so they get kicked out. But then look at the comparable placements, only at 20. I mean, Toxic here only has 21, but look, 47, like 40, 52, 60. It goes on and on here, and how kind of separated the placements are. So if they just had about 60, you could imagine they would be up here, which is, you know, absolutely incredible. And actually,
most of these teams have kind of found their way into a chicken over the course of the 30-game regular season. These guys only managed 20 points over 30 games for placement. Is like It's bad. Like, that's really bad, but their fragability is keeping them in the conversation into the final day here. So we had to share that with you guys. It's just too interesting of a statistic for a team that is, again, trying to get into the top 8 here and make their way into the finals. They're very much still in the conversation, but to have 20 placement points versus 91 kill points at this point is just something I've never seen before.
Yeah, just absolutely incredible. And we're just waiting 1 second here. As I was spectating that care package, I got kicked out of the game. So we're going to just get back in right now. We'll figure out what's happening here with this zone. But yeah, that was a great point. Sorry, I had it twisted there in some of the numbers. And here we go. We got code red.
I was like, what?
You got a macro. Yeah, it's funny. I knew what I was looking at, but my brain was like twisting it up there. That, just happens sometimes. Almost like a dyslexic moment there.
It's just 20. It's not kills.
But yeah, that was just, I almost wish that it would be too hard to have that in the normal scoreboard. So I understand why Twire doesn't include it, but those stats are so great to look at. And for anybody interested, if you're in the chat, you can type in ! Leaderboard, and you can click on those links at any time and see what we were looking at if you get into that kind of stuff or are interested. And when we left before, RMV was getting a care package in the water. It's Hackers got a FAMAS, and it looks like another one, Stento, is coming down here. Let's take a quick look. RMV in second place in our game 1. They're in the top 8, so they're okay, but they're just going to want to make sure they solidify it. P90 coming down potentially for Takashi there. In the zone,
another
continue
crazy
north.
shift for phase 2, man. There's more than half now in the water, and those locations that teams are going to be able to roll into is incredibly limited now. Almost all of them are already taken. A team's going to be able to slide into Crossroads. You're seeing Winter Circle do that right now. And a team's going to be able to slide into Severny. We'll probably see a team or two try to take the coast. But other than that, almost everything is taken. Actually, you're seeing RMV now vacate shooting range. So now that is an option. But this circle for phase 2 has such a limited amount of real estate for these teams to pull into. And now Code Red Gaming, Ollie, and the rest of the boys here pulling up on the side of this hill. They're going to need to be careful. Tenetic 1 has a very big split here. They're all over the high side of this hill. And you can kind of see Stikas here on the right side. Ollie and Aaron now might be walking into a bit of a pinch here, Blitz.
Yeah, let's see if Stikas is going to peek over here, attaching it 3 times onto his AK. I think he just spotted someone below him at that tree and gets a nice heady there down on the Keebs. And now the nade's going to come out.
Yeah, and this is our winners from last match. Code Red Gaming, almost impossible for them to drop out of those placements. And now the rest of Code Red Gaming showing up big for their fallen teammate. Aaron with a nade to one side, 180s this way and takes down Stikas. So showing up massive for his squad was Aaron right there. I actually think that's Sweeney, more commonly known as. And now Invernix showing up big for his team with a nice little 4x and 4 spray. He's going to go for the instant thirst onto Ollie there. Do any of these Code Red Gamings have an angle to prevent it? I'm not sure. So Invernix and Clousy now doing a number on the rest of Code Red Gaming, who I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get these reses off or not. Invernix actually is going to throw a smoke and back off here. So it'll be interesting to see if those reses are happening on the other side as well for Code Red, Blitz.
Yeah, and also K7 kind of thinking about heading over here. We'll take a look at what Aaron's doing, trying to get Keebs up. And we saw Stickhouse with that AK kind of got burned at long distance with that 3 times, caused him to get dropped. I mean, the AK is a great gun, and I like to shoot at long range too, but sometimes it can let you down compared to the M4 or the AUG or some of the other guns in the game.
It's just not as smooth. It hits hard, but it's not as smooth. So, once you kind of get extended from a certain range, you're really going to be challenged to kind of be out shooting some of those guns that are a little bit more steady.
Yes,
despite the fact that it does have a little bit more punch that it packs. But still 2 members here for Code Red Gaming trying to figure out how to deal with this broken T1 team. And as you can see on your mini map, K7 is now storming onto the north side of this battle here. Invernix is down, and it's going to be just Clousy and Ruzi here, I think, for T1. Maybe just 1 member now, but Gav kind of starting this push for K7 here. He's got 4 kills. The team's already got 5, so I didn't even see this happen right now.
Me neither.
And
Missed it.
yeah, they're kind of just combing through this plane crash here, looking for the broken T1 team, making sure they check every little thing here.
And look how, this is how it's so similar to watching the 7 Kings play, which is, the reverse K7, 7K. they just do the same thing. They spend so much time just making sure that every little thing is clear, when a lot of teams would maybe just push here and get a free extra kill. But instead of going fast, they actually play very slow, just making sure that everything is kind of safe in front of them. It's interesting to watch.
Yeah, and we were watching K7 push through the plane path, kind of pushing Code Red Gaming away. And Code Red actually walked into AE there on the bottom of your map there. So AE picking up a couple of kills. I'm curious how they've been doing down there. That's one of the teams we need to keep an eye on. But right now, Torch holding out RS. Traits is going to go down. And it looks like Torch already have a crazy split on this situation. So going to be very tough for the retired Sinners to kind of work their way in the zone off this edge. They're getting as many smokes out as they can. And this is a kind of an interesting place to play with the bunker. We've seen people get trapped down in there recently. They are going to get that res off on their fallen teammate. RS, one of those teams that if they do finish mega strong here, they could have something to say about a top 8 spot. So they're going to want to get traits up and kind of rotate away from this situation. As we approach the 15-minute mark, still 12 teams alive, 41 players. And now we're seeing a very big battle break out between AE and KO on the south side of the map here. This is very important fights that's happening. Walshy trying to do all he can to keep his teammate in it right now, but it's just an onslaught from the kicked out squad. They're going to pick up 4 kills there. They're going to be able to get Stimpy up here because it's only phase 3. As long as it's not phase 4, you are able to get a heal off as you get res. So very good job by KO here. They didn't do anything in the first match, but this is a very strong game 2 for them now, already with 4 kills.
And Sento, that is really rough for Ace Esports. They're in 9th place again. Only the top 8 are going to move on to play against NA, and that is back-to-back games where they got taken out with, I don't know if they had a lot of kills in either match, and there's still 11 teams remaining. So they have to be a little frustrated here. There's 2 more games, though, so they can still maybe decide their fate with some 2 comeback games on Miramar. Hopefully they can just kind of reset mentally.
Look at this zone
and get
it's
back into it.
Unbelievable how much water is still in this zone, and now K7 joined up to kind of help Torch gatekeep RS, but there's a lot of knocks going on. And look at this wrap from QDex. He's got the P90 in his hand. The 50 clip going to be important for him here. He actually has spotted the Torch member Fizz at the shack. He's got to let a frag go out there, perhaps use a little bit of their own smokes against them here. Not afraid to push his QDex ever, and he's going to try to get some shots onto this vehicle.
Did he end up with that last kill? He did. Okay. Wow.
Unbelievable shots right there from the man. K7 with 11 points, just confirming their first place. Putting the exclamation point on the regular season is QDex and the rest of the team. Unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, they are just on fire. QDex, our kill leader right now.
Look at the zone blitz. This is phase 3 right now, ladies and gentlemen. We know it has to shift off of the water at some point. If it's not now, it's going to be the next circle. But just 1 second till we figure out exactly what's going on. And there you go. Euro
stayed
is
right on Euro.
We got a root for now. Yeah, this is one of those. There's 3 teams we're keeping an eye on: Euro, RES, and that team that just fell, AE. So right now, crossing my fingers for Euro to have a big game here. But the fight is breaking out between Winner's Circle and Relax in the south side of shooting range right now, and it's a messy one. There's smoke's already down. Winner's Circle already have the advantage here. Looks like there's just 2 members of RLX here, and it's hanging on the wall. There's so many members of Winner's Circle here, but RLX takes down 2.
Yeah, Big Dog was trying to hold that fire in case he peeked back. It never happened. RLX retaliated. Pole's got to get in here because there's some third-party shots coming in. And Rowena taking down Makaz there. A lot of Winner's Circle drop. Pole's almost dead here, and he does go down. RLX, a team that has been struggling during the tournament, takes out one of our top place teams, Winner's Circle, for at least a little revenge there.
Massive shout out to RLX and the plays there. You just saw these Winner's Circle members start to drop and drop quick. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, it just goes to show you that obviously all the players in here are absolute fraggers. Good defense there from RLX. KO kind of checking out the situation. It's just Ben's here. They're kind of getting the revive off, so he's not really going to have an angle. And I think it's risky if he rotates to the left because RMV is right there on the hill on the outside. So RMV and KO are probably going to be gatekeeping RLX after that victory. And it looks like one of the members of... I mean, this team has multiple care packages. Ben's got the MK... I think they have a FAMAS potentially and a P90 Stento, so they're just completely loaded out with care package gear. It's a hacker with the P90. Manu's got the FAMAS. Literally 3 care packages for this team.
I love that. They're set up for end game. There's other teams that have got some heavy artillery too. I've seen some good stuff out on the battlefield right now, but the P90, the MK, this is where we need to be right now. RMV not afraid at all to play aggressive onto KO right now, and again, they've got the weapons to back it up right now. They've got a nice spread here right now. Benems knows there's a player on the rock, not going to connect with any spray there. Hacker's out down to one shot right there. A good nade. Might be some issues here for Hacker and these members on the bunker, but Manu is kind of suppressing Benems and the rest of the KO team here. So Takashi takes him down. Manu with the thirst. Down to our final 6 teams here. Everything's happened really fast right now. Some long range shots are putting Takashi behind the car. He's going to get a heal off while the rest of his team tries to push back the rest of those KO members who kind of already rotated up the hill to that shack. As you can see, KO was very split here, and they still are. There is a member or two still near RMV on the bunker here. So the split from KO is very interesting right now, and it might come back to bite RMV if properly executed from kicked out here. But they're getting plenty of smokes down. Veteran squad RMV, and they're on the edge of zone right now, but the shift just pulls them out. So they're going to have to plan their next move right now. In Euro still sitting pretty. K7 still sitting pretty. And a couple of other broken teams involved right now, but this is where all of the action is breaking out in this open field right now.
Yeah, even though Manu is missing a lot of the mini shots here up the hill, he's playing a really important role, trying to take some attention off of Batulans and Stimpy and try to get some hits there, especially because Takashi almost went down. We're going to move to Hacker here. He's got Marco right in front of him, just hit him with a nade, and I think a stun coming in. Not sure if Marco's on the push. Gonna be a hard one to try and get this last kill. Hacker's trying, but you know some shots from up top are gonna come in as well, so he's got to be careful here. He's gonna go for it. This is a little bit of a risky play. He's got to get this knock and then move up to flush and get into a little bit of cover here from the rest of KO.
Yeah, I love that play. I thought KO was going to be able to handle it with the overshots, but a nice swift push there with the P90. Going to be tough to deal with that gun at any range, but
they have this car. I'm really curious to see if some of the tires are still here. They did not shoot any out, so they might look to back out of that quickly. There's also a US here. Kind of a missed opportunity potentially from the boys in KO that are up top there to take out some of those tires and stop this push, but RMV might have had an easy way in. Either way, they might be crashing on KO because they know they just got a member there. And that's a good move because Euro's
teams are gonna,
Euro's locked in at their compound
all day.
Yep, they know it's broken. Perfect opportunity here to kind of land. They're just checking their back to make sure that there's no KO members there. Again, another really smart play just to be careful. We're also seeing some fighting on the outside. I guess we could probably quickly switch over here, then pop back to RMV. Looks like RMV is going to be a little while till they make it all the way up that hill. Toxic EU here, laying down. So many throwables coming in from K7. Falls down. Is it just... Oh, no, it's Sly and Chap. I don't know where Chap is. He's a little bit back, kind of by the street.
Yeah, Toxic EU is a little bit split here. And when we switched over, it was just non-stop nades from K7, who's kind of been on the defensive here, trying to get these reses off. So 2 members are going to go down for Toxic EU, and the unfortunate, the spread here, not the team that you want to kind of be split fighting from different locations. K7 are going to kind of get the better of Toxic EU.
Yeah, that's why I'm
going
to switch over. It's just Chap left. He's super low health. Wish him the best there, but I think it's going to be tough fighting out of that situation. And there you go. Toxic is going to be eliminated as our 6th team in match number 2. So we're going to switch over to RMV, who has a little bit more of an exciting push here against 2 members. Stimpy Batulin's been playing pretty well, so can they defend against the care package squad of RMV and Benhams?
Clean.
Quickly taking this south side of the hill. So this is interesting here. The 3 strong teams on the west, we have K7. On the north, Euro squad. On the bottom south side, we have RMV, and then just the 1 solo of T1. And this is actually where they won that game last week, was out of this shed here. It was one of the members of T1 had moved out to one of these rocks here and battled with Euro, coincidentally. I'm pretty sure it was. So
I think it was
KO. KO maybe?
Yeah,
it was KO.
I was gonna say we haven't seen KO in any end game, so it couldn't have been them. So we haven't seen Euro in any end games, excuse me. And we're looking at him right now. This is one of the teams we're keeping a very close eye on tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Team Euro. They've got some of the most interesting stats we've ever experienced. 91 kill points and only 20 placement points going to their score right now. Rox picks up another kill point onto Clousy, so we're down to 3 teams, and they're all full 4-man, so this is going to be a very interesting end game right now. RMV versus Euro versus K7, and once again, Team Euro right now is about 20 points outside of the top 8 right now. We just saw Team Toxic, that team that's holding 8th place, go out. So right now, Euro should be gaining points on them almost no matter what. They're going to want the chicken dinner and 8 more kills, though. So if Team Euro can clean this up, the scoreboard is going to get extremely spicy right now, Blitz.
Yeah, for sure. And really what it comes down to is, what are these teams going to look like? What's their position going to look like as the circle kind of closes in on itself? We'll take a quick aerial view. We know that RMV is on the east side. We saw Code Red, who was in a similar position as K7, kind of get whittled down as they lost smokes. Takashi takes out QDex, so that's another member down for K7. There is some cover here as we kind of zoom into the field. There's this shed. How long we'll be in for, though, if the circle comes back to K7, it might help them a lot. But other than that, there's really just trees here after they get past this ridge. So they do have this nice little area here, but if the circle continues to move in, they're going to lose this. But really, it's going to come down to, I think, who gets the most circle love here, potentially. And RMV doesn't have a lot to work with either, as we kind of just use another aerial view. They have some ridges, but once they have to come down, it's pretty open field, especially right here.
Yeah, very interesting circle. And K7 doing a good job to kind of get postured up for endgame, even as a 3-man right now. They're just going to probably need to deal with 2 different angles from Euro and from RMV.
Rocks
down shots.
split out. Risky play from Rocks here. He actually left the team center. I don't think I realized he was all the way here. Gets the knock on Gav. The high risk, high reward play kind of pays off for now. Trying to get this flush on Gav, but he's got to watch out. Tyro might be able to retaliate. Gav's super low health. He's doesn't know that nade hit.
Here. Euro need the kills. They need the placement points. He needs to get aggressive here, Blitzen. I love the play. He's not going to push into the smoke. However, in K7 doing such... Oh,
unbelievable that K7... How does K7 and the 7 Kings just survive all of these nades barely? I don't know how that happens, but it does.
Yeah, unbelievable job to stay alive there. And I wish he got a little bit aggressive a little sooner. The nades didn't land for him. And now he's got Nocino there with him. So it's a little bit of a 2-on-2 on this side. RMV, as you can see, on the south side, pushing their way down the hill. I love the DP work right here.
Bold. Is this a that almost looked like a standing DP shot for a second. I think he was crouched, but that looked a little bold for 1 second there. But nice spray across the map.
I think he was crouching. That gun is just so much different whether you're going prone to when you're crouched to when you're standing. It's almost impossible to use. So if that was standing, that would have been some question marks raised, but eyebrows, whatever, everything. I'm throwing everything in the air if that was standing. But some really good shots from across map there from the crouch DP, which again does massively change the recoil of that gun.
Yeah, so the circle went to K7 here, so we're gonna tap into RMV because they're probably gonna try to get above K7 here. Hacker slightly above here. Euro is as well. So comes down to, will Euro and RMV kind of whittle each other down, or will they look down into the valley and third party the remainder of K7 right now? It looks like the battle's still kind of going out between the 2 teams up top of RMV and Euro.
See, what we might see happen is RMV kind of crash K7 a little bit. It might open the opportunity for Euro to push over the top. So the timing of everything's going to be crucial here, ladies and gentlemen. We might need to literally strap on our seatbelts for this ending and get ready for some high octane push here. It doesn't look like they're actually going to elect to take the car here. Ben Ems has a FAMAS and an MK in his hand. I think he's probably considering, I don't know if I want to die in a car while I have these guns in my hand.
Yeah, which I think we've all been there. Could be a good decision to potentially send a member or two and then keep a member or two up top just shooting as they drive into the car. It looks like Nocino tried to crash the shed unsuccessfully. That was a little bit of an early push from Nocino there, Stento. I'm going to tap into Euro because they're going to be watching this from Hacker, and they're going to be looking onto RMV. 2 members of Euro down now.
Unfortunate, all attention kind of turned on to them, and this is why they wanted to get aggressive when they got a knock, because RMV slowly pushing their way down the hill, and they have cover to the guys in the dip, but all focus is here. Some great DP shots. Gonna try and pick up as many points as he can for his squad right now, but time is running out.
Oh no, and Euro, it just did not work out in their favor. Everybody targeted them as they tried to leave. And now it's RMV versus K7. K7 should be down to 2, but they got that member back up. It's a 3v3 with one of the members knocked right now for RMV. 14 kills for K7.
Yeah, another big game for K7. They've been having a strong end, a strong tournament, obviously as our first place squad, but a nice day today so far. And now they've got their hands full here. They've got QDex already dead, so it's going to be up to Gav Tyro and Anto to win a little bit of a 3v4 here. The thing is, they do have better zone than RMV, so it's going to be up to some good smokes, some good shots, and a nice team push for RMV to kind of outplay K7 here, because this is a very difficult push down the hill, as K7 already have a shack and a little bit of hard cover, and they're also wrapping up the south side hill. As you can see, Gav kind of pushing his way up there, so never wasting any time to make some moves, K7. And yeah, this is going to be a nice little end game team versus team battle here.
Yeah, Takashi and Hacker playing a big role here on the very top side with the P90. They're out of smoke, Sento. I think Hacker. Yeah, I think Hacker's the only one left with the smoke on the RMV side. He needs to get up and maybe try to take out Gav. He's got 2 nades as well. Takashi with a big knock on the Gav on the left side. This is going to allow Hacker to maybe move in, but he's already getting shot from Anto, from the shed, and from Tyro. Hacker's got to try to lay down here and get this first aid. We're going to switch off to Manu. Again, they just don't have the smokes here for no cover. Going to try to get to the street, but they need the other members of RMV to push right quick here.
Yeah, everyone's got to get up. There's just 2 members left for K7, and the angles are kind of thinning out right now. Tyro takes down Manu, so now it's a 3v2 here. Takashi plays a really big role here on this push. He's already knocked Gav on the high side, and he needs to win this 1v1 versus Anto. This is one of the biggest plays of the game, and Tyro takes him down across the way on the push from the
big
rocks.
nade. Is this going to hurt at all? It does. Takes him down to half health. That nade was clutch, lowering. Ben M's here. He's got the FAMAS, though. How is he going to play this, Stento? Probably a lot of stuff going through his mind. Pushing up, just can't really get a good spray. Runs out of the ammo because the FAMAS only has a 30-round mag, so the FAMAS comes to bite him in the back, and there's only 1 member up for RMV, and he's not going for the res right now, Stento, because it's too risky. It looks like K7 somehow withheld this push. I don't think RMV spread out quick enough there.
Wow, unbelievable hold from K7 there. And now it's just a 2-on-1. Tyro's pushing to the high side. The angles are starting to thin out. Hacker with some amazing SAS shots drops Tyro, and now it's Anto on the shack, who is running out of ammo here, Blitz.
Stento, I didn't even realize he's only down to 21 shots, 8 in the SLR.
Oh my goodness.
That's all you need, though. And that's it for the SLR.
Got to switch guns. He's got to pick something up off the ground. It might actually open a little bit of a window for RMV to drop some shots here. He doesn't catch him looting there. He's going to switch to the M4 and grab some 5. So some nice plays from Anto. Now he's going to have a little bit of option to spray here. Hacker with that SKS is just deadly, though.
No way. And Hacker goes down to the zone with Anto with 4 health, Stento.
Way. Oh my gosh.
And Anto, I think, got hit with a nade there, Stento. This guy's got a nade repellent spray on or something. I don't know how he doesn't die there. Somebody check this man's body armor. What an ending. I think one of the craziest endings we've seen in a while there. That was great. Definitely like a top 5, I think, for me, for EU so far.
Yeah, 17 kills and the dub for K7 there, though. And RMV not going to be mad about 11 kills and the 2nd place. And, you know, we kind of had all eyes on this Euro squad, who aren't going to be mad about 5 kills and a 3rd. They need all the points they can get. 2 more matches. We'll take a quick look at the leaderboard here when we do go to a break. But what's something that you want to talk about before we do hop into our next match? Blitz?
Yeah, I mean, is there too much? There's not much to say after that round. That was just crazy. I just can't believe that K7 just stayed up that whole time. I don't understand how the nade just didn't get that flush from Euro. Then I'm pretty sure there was a final nade that came in onto Anto there. Just crazy. And Hacker going down to the zone, when they watch that back, they're gonna be like, wow. Both of them must have been down to like below 10 health right at the final there. And wow, crazy ending. Anything for you?
Yeah, I think Team Euro is going to be kicking themselves. Rocks got a knock on that side. He threw a couple of nades. He needed to follow it up with a push. I don't know if he would have been alone. Nocino eventually got over there, but Euro needed to get aggressive there. This is make or break it time, man. And they needed to push over. It's only a 3-man for K7. If they pushed over and took down whoever was there getting that revive on Gav, then it's just Anto in the shack, and I think Euro is going to be able to push into that and then be where K7 was holding out RMV. So I think they lost a ton of points there, and it was really wide open for them to get aggressive onto that knock. And I think they're going to be kicking themselves that they didn't. But K7 just so resilient. It shows itself time and again that they're able to just get the insane reses off on one another. But we've got 2 more matches heading over to that dusty desert of Miramar, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a short break, and we'll see you guys in a few moments.
Yep, be right back. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are on to game 3 out of 4 today. Only playing 4 matches, and this is our final day of qualifying for EU. And before we get into the games, I figured we could revisit some of the interesting stats we have. As we were in the intermission, we were looking at the scoreboard, so you guys could take a look at this. Not going to have that recent game. Usually we have to wait about 5 or 10 minutes for Twire to update to get that. So we'll be checking in shortly on where people are moving. Again, all the attention on the top 8 and then also 9, 10, 11 because those teams are just going to be on the outside of that top 8. Trying to see if any of those teams can make their way in and push out one of the teams on the bottom side there. And then also we have some other statistics we want to show you guys, including our kill leaders for the tournament. QDAX has been just on a tear in first place, ton of damage as well. Ghost coming in with 69 kills, and then 3 members of Torch. Torch just really playing strong as a unit, and I feel like a great kind of team that's going to clash with NA for sure. Then we also have some of our damage statistics, obviously going to be kind of similar here off the kill list. Ghost very close, just 600 damage behind QDEX there. And then our head-to-head statistic, which we like to show off here. I think these were our second and third place teams, showing kind of how close they are. Look at the average placement, average points, total damage, very close together. But Torch able to be 16 or 18 kills ahead there, which is pretty impressive. And so far, the MVP, as you could probably guess, for the tournament is QDEX with an insane rating of 97. And I want to see if this one updated here. We'll just take a quick look. If you're able to fill in yet, nope, we have not got the update for today's winners, but we will try to get that updated for you guys so we can take a look at who's won so far. Just 2 matches, so again, we're still waiting for some T-Wire updates. And here is the playing path going from El Azahar down to Los Higos. Again, I'm Blitz5. We're here hosting this on my channel, Blitz5 and Friends. Thank you guys for being with me. And here co-casting with me is my buddy Stento. What's up, man?
Yeah, great intro there, Blitz. Amazingly done there. And just as we're looking at our map, a couple things I want to point out of the map. First out of the plane is Toxic EU. That is going to be the most vulnerable team up there, Team 4 in blue. So we're going to have to keep an eye on them through these 2 Miramar matches. They were hanging out right around 135 points. There's several teams that have the ability to knock them out. A couple of the other teams are a little bit more safe. So that's really what we're focused on here tonight. It's going to be, can Toxic hold on to that 8th place spot, fending off the likes of both, excuse me, I'm trying to blank on the teams that are pushing in from the backside. That's going to be Ace Esports there in Leones
and NES.
In NES, yes, correct. And then Euro as well in Impala. So there's 3 teams actually. And this circle is going in favor of that 3rd place team right there from our last match, Euro. And yeah, I love where you're highlighting over there. Could we be ending our regular season with a little bit of an island zone? But this is just ridiculous. All 3 circles today have phased 1 onto half of water. So these teams are just fighting through crazy odds, and such little real estate in these phase 1 circles has been causing some kind of crazy early game fights that we've just had the pleasure of watching here. And right now, I'd like to point out another couple of things on the map. K7 just with a really impressive split here. We see them do this all the time. I think we saw their NA team do a similar thing for a while, but they're going to be very comfortable moving into their first position, as is Euro. You're already seeing Nocino rotate down the coast there. That's a very popular spot, because if this does go over to the islands, you're going to be in the most frag heavy spot to try to pick up kills as people do get pulled over to the island. So going to be very, very excited to see our second shift Blitz and see if we do kind of head up towards Impala and the islands. But definitely need to keep an eye on Team Euro. That's probably the closest team now to Team Toxic up there that you're highlighting as well. So lots of interesting rotations and storylines that we're going to make sure we're following here. And these are big points right now. Euro rocks, picking up Traits, and I think this is just a 2-man now. Traits and RS have been a 3-man, kind of just sticking it out with a broken squad here. So big shout outs, honestly, to RS for coming back and sticking out this tournament. We missed them for a day or 2 there, but glad to see them back in rocks. Perhaps getting called back from the rest of the team. They are very broken up, and he's the only one over there trying to just do everything he can to add some points to their total. And this is high stakes games right now, Blitz, but you got to do it. They need every point they can get.
Yeah, I think Euro's probably fighting their intuition to just play aggressive, which led them to have, that high kill and low placement. So I think they're trying something new today. Will it be enough on the last day to get those extra placement points and extra kills? We'll see. So I'm guessing that's why they called it back. Just take that one kill, get that point, and then head down. Especially because Nocino's down here. Probably better to get in on that position. And before we were talking, we're seeing the ending of that last match, which was absolutely crazy play on the 10-minute delay. And, had me thinking some people were doing a little bit of competitive, friendly trash talk with EU. And, I didn't really think about that, Stendo. There's going to be a big bragging right for whichever region comes on top. You know what I mean? Who's going to take it? Is it going to be EU Torch? Is it going to be an NA team? And then they're going to be pretty stoked taking that down. I saw NA last night. Some people in the chat were actually pretty excited about that too. I saw some members of Vigorous and the Crazy Mob that were really excited to play against EU. So this is great for everybody, entertaining for viewers, great for the players, great for us. It's a win-win across the board.
Yeah, absolutely. And $5,000 is an insane prize pool. But as you mentioned, I think, might be a situation where the bragging rights last a little bit longer than the first place prize. So I agree with you there. These guys are playing for much more than just a hefty chunk of change. There's all sorts of bragging rights on the line, as you can imagine. In K7, as we talked about earlier in this match, they had such a good early game location with their normal drop here in this southeast shift on phase 1 that they're all grouping up on this bread loaf building. They're kind of in coast mode right now. They cannot be caught in first place right now. I think the math is in their favor now. So we could almost congratulate them on a first place for EU's regular season, but that's only going to get them the first place prize of $250 and again their ticket into the finals. The big time money is going to be won in the finals when they do square off versus NA, and I cannot wait to watch these guys battle the likes of Kinetic 7 and a couple of our veteran North American teams like Affinity, Vigorous. It's just going to be, as you said, really going to be heating up to be an insane show this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm trying to see here with the leaderboards. I'm not sure if it's fully updated yet. I really want to take a look at some point.
No, it's not yet. I will give you that cue. Actually, I'm working on it manually. For some reason, the last couple of games have not been automatically updating, and I actually have some lovely help sending me the IDs of the game, so I'm adding them in as we speak right now. And I'll let you guys know in chat when, and Blitz, obviously, when we can check out the exact leaderboard for the games that have been played today. It is updated in a few moments. I'm doing that right now, so the games have been added to the API. I'm just getting them on the scoreboard here in a nice little Groza situation here for PO. Kind of been the lead fragger for this AE team, another team that needs 2 solid rounds right now, and they can jump into that 8th spot.
If you're just tuning in, we're in game 3 out of 4. We're only playing 4 games tonight. These are kind of makeup games right now for the EU teams. And AE, who's right on the outside of the top 8, has started off very poorly tonight. Definitely not the way they wanted to. I don't think they've gotten many points in the first 2 games, so they really need to show up here in the last 2 games if they want to sneak in.
Blitz. T1 getting really close to Euro. Oh, and this compound that Euro's in is a good compound, but it's not that nice to hold the angles right now from... Oh,
wow.
Oh my
Sneakus
God.
almost takes out Bosnian there. The last couple of bullets just went right over his head. I'm sure you heard those whizzing by. Looks like
this is very dangerous for Euro. They need, again, there's just a couple teams we're really focused on here.
Yeah,
Euro
look,
and AE.
Rox was all the way up there and then gets caught by Torch. I kind of wanted to show that he was so far up on that kind of flank. It was a little too risky here.
Yeah, it really is at this point. You need to be down there with your squad. We saw him venturing out earlier on in Impala. He picked up a kill, but now that's not worth it. 1 kill and dying is really... They need a little bit more out of him, and staying 4 strong for Euro is really important at this point. They need to find themselves in some end games, but they're postured up in such a good spot. If this does go to the island, if we do see a kind of crazy circle here, Euro, if they can hang on to those 3 people, they might be able to pick up some very valuable kills. So just we got to keep an eye on them. Torch and T1 still very close, and this is just a very, very sketchy spot to be on the low side.
Yeah, so T1 kind of taking a safer spot into the compound with the triple warehouses there. Torch, let's take a look at where they're at. They're kind of holding this interesting area out in the fields. They have a pretty big spread. They should be okay unless a team kind of backfills them here. But for right now, they're pretty open because only K7 is behind them. And they've taken these warehouses, kind of probably playing slower because of their lead. Winner circle right now rotating in between AE, and they might actually end up pulling up on two members of AE unintentionally here. Ghost starts off one of the knocks onto Arts, and this is not good for AE because they're in a 2-2 split right now, and they're not ready to defend against this. It's only Clift over here. Paul with the knock. No. They're pushing quickly. They just spotted Cliff, so Paul knows that he's here. He catches him on the door handle there, on the door frame, excuse me. I don't know if Cliff realized that his body was kind of outside of the door, and that's two members quickly down for AE, and they again have to be kind of puzzled here. What's happening?
I'm devastated. Ace and Euro, these are the two teams that we're keeping a close eye on here. They're gonna need to hold strong right now if they want that chance to take out Toxic from the 8th spot. So package is dropping. It's just a moment of time before we see if we're heading over towards the islands. Gosh, everyone, now's the time to cross your fingers, cross your toes, cross everything you got.
Cross
we need
your
all
eyes.
the luck we can, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. And Blitz, while we do wait a few moments here, the scoreboard is fully updated if you do want to take a look. Actually, maybe we'll wait until we get this shift. It's just
we gotta see the shift. This could be our only island circle of the tournament, and it goes south.
God, it was good. It was good. It's still going to be a very interesting zone as teams start to flood towards Puerto Paraíso. But why don't we do a little bit of a scoreboard update for everyone as these rotations start?
Yeah, sure. I'm just going to link on with RLX here, and then we'll go check out the scoreboard. They're parachuting in to Puerto Paraíso RMV here. So let's take a look at the actual scoreboard for EU. We'll pop back if RLX gets pushed on really quickly here. So I'm trying to look at the updates. So Euro actually has pushed Ace Esports. This is the first thing I'm noticing, to the right side of the scoreboard to 10th place. So Ace dropping a point. In Euro, I think went up 2 places. They were in 11th place, Stento, and hopped up all the way to 9th. So now they're 23 points behind Team Toxic in 8th place. So that's who they're chasing right now. And because NES and Ace aren't playing as well, they're kind of losing their opportunity here, Stento. It looks like Euro's going to be that only team that's going to be fighting potentially, unless Nitrous really pick it up here in the last 2 games. Anything else kind of?
Nah, all eyes are on Euro and Team Toxic trying to battle it out for that last spot. I think everyone else is pretty safe. We might see some shifting going on from 2nd to 3rd, which is $150 versus $50. So there is a big jump in some prize money there between Winner Circle and Torch. Just probably the 2 things that we're going to be focused on now throughout the last 2 matches of the regular season.
Yeah, that was a good point out because it is additional qualifying money. And just quickly here, we'll show you guys, this is the regular season payout. So $250 for first, $150 for second, and then $50 for third and fourth. And then again, that obviously is increasing by fourfold there for the finals. And then again, we are in game 3. Only one more game after this. Replacement games, because we've been dealing with some PUBG server issues kind of during the tournament. We lost out on a few games, I think once or twice for EU, so this is kind of a makeup day for us. RLX landed in Puerto Paraíso. That's what's happening here. They took an emergency pickup. Mentioned this a few times. EU seems like they've been kind of less adaptive to the lift compared to NA, but in this game, we're seeing another lift being used. So this is awesome, but we've been seeing more of this from NA. They're actually landing right with RLX here, Stento. They're going to drop on this warehouse. I don't think they know somebody's in here. Now they're going to know. Keeps runs into 2 members. They need their teammates to land here. Aaron actually lands on the other side, Stento. He's almost down. He's going to push in here. He didn't reload, so this is a little bit risky. He's going to switch to the Mutant, though, as he flanks around.
What a crazy fight. And these members of RLX kind of waited to jump out of their kill boxes, and it actually played in their favor. 2 members of Code Red are going to survive on the low side, but RLX got here first, and they hold it down pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think Keebs was ready for that at all. And then Aaron there decided not to reload the AUG and kind of came back to bite it. But then again, Stento, I don't know if you've used it, but the Mutant up close, you can actually kind of push it. If you spam the trigger, it's almost better than using an auto AR. It's like having a vector up close sometimes.
It's so devastating.
Yeah, it's so strong. It's actually pretty crazy. But interesting kind of combo that he had double ARs there.
Yeah, you don't see it very often, but maybe figured since it was heading towards this way that going to be some close range fights.
Yeah, mostly close range here. And Stento, I'm honestly convinced, dude, that they've changed the circle settings. you just don't see the same circles you used to see, like the craziest circles. And I think a lot of esports players would actually get mad about some of those islands. I mean, it's fun for a spectator, but people would get pretty frustrated, I guess, with that, allegedly. I swear, you just do not see them anymore. I'm still going to keep hope for a city finish at some point or an island, but, you know. Won't hold my breath.
We haven't been here very much, so
no, we haven't.
Looks like Torch getting a really good split in the center zone right now, and something's gonna break out on the north side. Looks like Toxic EU, our 8th place team, trying to get in on the edge, so maybe we'll tap in over there and kind of see what's going on. It looks like T1 already with 4 kills, trying to hold him out.
Yeah, and I don't want to keep bringing up the map, but just so you guys know, Euro is still alive. We were on board with them a little earlier. They lost one of the members. They've made it into the city, so they're still up if you're wondering. T1 has actually moved down the leaderboards a little bit, Stento. They were pretty much in 4th this entire tournament, and they've moved down to 6th right now. So they're actually out of the money spot. So they might be trying to get a few extra points to make it back into the money. I don't think they could actually fall out of the top 8, but they definitely have made a little bit of a drop over the past few matches.
And there you go on your kill feed. Sly gets knocked. I said Slox. Sly gets knocked right there from one of the members of KO. And these guys are 7th and 8th place. So this is a very interesting matchup between these guys. And Chap returns the favor
nice
with
return.
the ulti, as he often does.
Yeah,
but
this is great teams to watch here. This is Team 7 and Team 8, as Stento just mentioned. KO's in 7th, Toxic in 8th.
And what you're inevitably going to see here is Toxic is going to kind of wrap around the east side there. Chap just doesn't miss. This guy is one of the best bolties on Xbox. I'll die on that hill. He is up there in the conversation. He proves it time and again, just knocking 2 helmets off of this KO team. This might be their push now. Do it again, Chap.
Oh, that looked actually pretty good there.
I think Marco backed off just in time, but clearly the respect is there for the bolty of Chap. But Benz takes down Sly on this push. Chap can't land the spray here. Swift is down to 1 shot as well, so things starting to turn here. Lots of knocks on each team now. Excuse me, a couple of knocks on each side now. And
Marco on the flank. Got Sly full. It's just Chap here. And if they go out with 0 points, this is going to open the door for Euro, Stento. And this did not go the way they wanted to. Benz is right here. All he has to do is kind of peek over this hill, and he could get this kill on the Chap with a revive. He's going to stun, but in the wrong spot. All he needs to do is push over just a little bit further. Chap comes off the res, but Benz is going to take him down with the AUG. That's 4 kills for KO. They're going to be stoked about that in 7th place.
That's massive. That's our 8th place team out with no points in the second to last match of the day. All eyes are turning towards Team Euro now. How many points can they gain right now to set them up for the final match?
I need to see here the leaderboards, but we'll check the map first.
Look at this fight on the left side. Yeah,
trying to make it in.
It's a little bit of a K7. There you go. Our 1st place team eliminated in 11th. They got caught in a little bit of a pinch between P7 and Winner Circle over there. 7 are now going to wrap this northeast side over towards KO. They're going to get met by a 4-man of kicked out on this side very soon.
Is KO going to push this or keep their ground? Just 2 members
something
left.
Else I also want to kind of point out, sorry to interrupt you there, but it's just on theme with what we've been talking about. If you do pull up the map really quickly, Euro have moved into a really good position in the city. So they're getting kind of the best position in zone in relation to the city. So they're going to be able to hold out these 3 teams that are kind of fighting on the edge. So I just wanted to point that out to you. But back up to this northwest side where Winner Circle's starting to get a little bit more aggressive.
They're going to push behind P7 here.
One of our kill leaders in the tournament. Already 3 more to his name. So he's arguably chasing down QDex here for the MVP of the EU section right now. And Macaz, his teammate, takes down Clyde, instantly thirsts right now. And they're going to clean up this P7 team rather quickly now, but they're going to be met by another 4-man of KO. I'm not sure they realize yet. They're kind of backing off and regrouping a little bit. Maybe they do sense that KO is rather close here. And as you do kind of wrap around this side, you can see the spread that KO have. It's quite wide here. So Perhaps the shots starting to be felt from long range of Winner Circle there, and they're on the edge of zone. So they're going to kind of wrap away from this, not take a too big of a fight while blue is moving in.
Yeah, so it's almost confusing here because Torch and T1 are both red. I mean, red and kind of purple or magenta, whatever color you want to use. But they're kind of both posturing in this area here with KO just above them and then RS right below. They're going to get eliminated, but Torch is moving up on T1. Kayomi and Merc are trying to wrap here from the right. I'm going to tap into Kayomi's view. I don't know if he's going to play this passive and kind of just hold an anchor spot or if he's going for a full flank here. He got spotted, so now that might kind of slow it down, and the Fizz is going to come over the top. Torch looks like they want to get T1 out here. They're playing kind of aggressive, but then also one member of T1 is moving to the left side. Fizz with a nice knock. Clousy doesn't have a lot of health here. Nade coming in. Finish him off.
Very clean from Fizz.
Very nice play here. And so steady there with the barrel. Just not really moving around too much. Moving so steadily forward.
Yeah, Torch just do such a good job of fighting together. And not that this fight doesn't matter, Blitz, but I really do want to get over to Euro. This is the most important team right now that has a chance of jumping in. And they're in the process of trying to gatekeep a couple broken teams. Time is not in the favor of Code Red and Relax right now. It's circling up right now, and now it's less than a minute. The timer has started for RLX and Code Red Gaming. We'll keep an eye on the kill feed right now. RMV and Winner Circle popping off on each other right now, but we have to stay here, ladies and gentlemen. Euro, as we maybe we'll take a quick look at the leaderboard right now. Euro is in, I think, 9th place. They're pushing Toxic EU, who just went out with no points. So every point matters right now. They've already got one, and yeah, awesome.
Euro
A
is
quick little peek here.
Euro, I think, is 23 points behind Team Toxic. So again, you get 10 points if you win. They only have 1 point right now, though. So they only have 1 point for 1 kill, but they're gonna start to earn some placement points here as they survive on. But I will say, Stento, this spot, I was actually just playing a game here where I was in this spot where Euro is.
Anything can happen here, man.
It's really hard to kind of gatekeep here because there's so many buildings. And then look where the circle went. Crossing this street is not easy. And then everyone's just going to be looking at you from these compounds in this building. And then it's kind of hard to play around this. And look, Code Red actually sneaking up behind them. So they're going to, this could be kind of mutual destruction, as we always say, trying to leave. Euro not really positioning themselves yet. They probably should have got to where Code Red is first.
They kind of got locked into that gatekeep and didn't really realize. And now I think, unfortunately, Code Red Gaming, such good players, Cocky and Ollie are in a better position than Euro right now. So Euro are really going to need to step up, get some kills here, and find their way into zone. If they can get these 3 into zone, they're going to pick up some kills on the way right now. Nocino is locked onto these RLX squad members. That's 1 more point for this squad. They need it. And the other member's still on the roof. Rowena is...
Yeah, Nocino hasn't seen him yet. He's trying to look around. He might just...
Rowena playing spoiler up there, truly kind of eating blue and healing over and over. That's phase 5 that's over there.
We're just stay on board. Like we said, this is pretty important. This is 2 points. They need 23 to catch up with Team Toxic. Obviously, they don't need to do it this round, but this, because Toxic had an early exit with 0 points, this is kind of their time to make up a lot of ground. I think Rowena's going to go down to the zone there. Bosnian takes out Ollie, though. This is a great kind of first knock against Code Red, but this is where Torch could kind of peek over here and really cause some problems for Euro to cross the street, even if they survive this. They got to get Cocky out. Godly actually gets hit by Cocky's frag there. Nocino's getting third-partied from the side. Doesn't have anywhere to go because the Molly's here. Stento Zone's coming in. Another member of Euro going down. This is exactly what I thought might happen, and he actually has to get across the street, Stento, and look at the health. Not much health here. Not going to have time to first aid, and they're only going to get 2 points. So Toxic there. Look, Code Red going down as well. That's such a tough spot to be in when the circle splits up here. And like I said, I just had a game here the other day, Stento, where I was in that spot, and that's what happened.
Oh, okay, so they picked up 3 or 4. They're going to be within 19 or 20 for the final game. They're going to need a very good win to point Toxic E, who went out there early. Now we're seeing a big battle break out between RMV and Winner Circle. Actually kind of cleaned up nicely there by Takashi with the Groza. And now down to our final 3 teams, a three-man for RMV, and then 2 4-mans kicked out and Torch out here, already kind of trading shots on the northeast side of zone.
Yeah, kind of like the idea of spectating Torch right now because they're in 2-2 split. Lizard just popped Batulins. I feel like Lizard hasn't been always playing with this team. Might be kind of a fill-in right now.
This is a new sub, yep.
Stento Toxic taking a huge sigh of relief, seeing EU not pick up a ton of kills there or placement points. Sorry, Euro team, that is. It might be too much for them, but obviously we'll have to see how it all plays out in the final match.
Yeah, it's starting to get bittersweet for me here, Blitz. So this was such a fun event. You know, we talked about it a little bit yesterday, how it's not gone quickly, but it's felt like excuse me, it's been a lot, but it's gone quickly is what we said. And got 30 matches over 3 weeks, just went by really, really fast. And I can't wait for the finals, which is just short of the same length. The finals is going to be 24 matches between these top teams from NA and EU. And yeah, it's going to be just unbelievable content watching these two regions kind of pin up versus one another.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to be doing back-to-back weekends, 6 games at a time, which I think will be a nice block. 6 games, you know, a Saturday, then Sunday, then a big break, and coming back on the next weekend. I think it's just going to be a perfect timing for everybody there and kind of them. I like the situation where we're going to do one day on NA, one day on EU, and it's going to come down to a lot how these teams can play across the pond, dealing with that kind of ping difference. Here, RMV getting very close to Torch on the bottom side. Lizard is kind of hanging above here. I'm going to stick in his view, even though one of the members of Torch is flanking to the left. Nade coming out here. Looks like he was debating underhand, overhand. Hacker gets the first knock. Takashi also gets a knock, but Lizard trades there. He almost gets Venoms, but a lot of Torch members going down here. And
wow.
RMV survives.
Yeah, unbelievable plays by RMV to kind of just out frag really quickly there, led by Hacker and Benems. And Takashi just picking up 13 kills here. These are big points. They might be able to jump their way back into the top 4 and take home a little money from this regular season here. But we knew the push was going to come from KO. Benems was ready for it. He takes down Stimpy. Hacker wasn't able to get a heal off here. So now it's a little bit of a 3-on-1 situation.
This nade might be good, Sento. The line looks good. Doesn't hit.
Yeah, they've got the drop on Benhams, and they're just raining nades into this area right now. And they've got the angles as well. Batoons and Benz can't get out of that pinch. Not even a shot. KO with a very strong chicken dinner here. 8 kills. Gonna take home 18 points and really start to lock in their spot here. We have one more match. So there's really only one place we need to focus on, Blitz. I think that's going to be that Team Euro. Can they put together a good match to kind of bump EU out or not? And yeah, we'll take a quick look at that leaderboard. We'll let you know midway through our final match exactly when it's updated and how exactly the math is going to shake out for good here. But switching over to our split screen, Blitz, what's something that kind of stood out to you in that match there?
Well, I think, you know, like I said, Torch, first of all, R&B is coming in strong, right? They're playing really well today, and this could be great for them going into the games versus NA. And same thing with Torch. I mean, they're playing very well.
R&B's definitely got a fighting chance going into the finals. They've just, as long as they can keep 4 up and be in the right spot, I think they can clearly frag with the top teams. Their shots look super clean, and they've been kind of slaying on a very high level.
Yeah, for sure. And R&V, that's kind of what I was used to seeing from them. And then they were kind of floating lower in the leaderboards there, now kind of moving their way back up. So it's good to see that out of them. And, you know, for some teams, they're just probably still kind of practicing, getting ready for the actual showdown because they've been in the top 8 this whole time, kind of knowing that they're going to be there. But anyways, another great game on Miramar. I'm looking forward to another one. Miramar's just been really fun for me lately. So we'll be back in just a few minutes for the last qualifying game of EU. Be right back, everybody.
It's the last one.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the final game of the EU qualifiers. It's been quite the journey, but we are finally here on Blitz 5, here with my buddy Stento and founder of Main Gaming, of course. So many things to talk about. I'm not even sure where we really want to intro on this last game. We have so many things we could show you guys, you know, prize pools for the regular season, the finale. We could quickly cover that stuff, but we also just got to go to that scoreboard because we do have an interesting storyline going on. Here are the teams we started out with. 17 teams battling it out from EU, trying to make it to the top 8 that will fight NA. Here are the NA teams, which will be playing tomorrow night on their final day as well. The top 4 teams are going to be splitting $1,000, so $500 being split to the top 4 teams in Europe. And then the finals is where the big cash prize is. And honestly, the bragging rights of being the #1 team in the competitive scene between the two kind of big regions here for PUBG console. And then on to the leaderboards. The storyline right now is, can Euro catch Team Toxic? That last game hasn't updated. They're currently about 20 points behind. So Euro needs a big game here and some good placement points to catch up to Team Toxic. It's going to be a little less than 20 points, Stento, because they got some placement points and a few kills, but it's still going to be, you know, kind of a big hurdle for them to make it. So this should be pretty exciting. And then also there's some teams kind of vying for, will they get more money here? Torch and Winter Circle kind of fighting for that second spot as well. And we have our plane path from Valle del Mar all the way to El Azahar.
Yeah, we'll take a peek at that scoreboard when it does update. But the storyline here for sure is, can Team Euro catch Team Toxic? And they're going to need to play aggressive here because they haven't won a single game all tournament right now. And this is our 30th match. And so we're going to see some teams sending it, some teams kind of doing whatever they want now because this is the final match of the regular season. Lots of teams have nothing to play for here. Torch is not one of those teams, however, dropping Picado with a couple of other broken teams. It looks like RS have another member in here, and Merc is on the scene, already in that building here. We'll see what he's got. He doesn't have anything.
No, but it looks like he wants to probably going to get up there because they need as many points as they can get to pass Winter Circle and get a little extra cash. Obviously, there's more in the finale, but they can kind of move up to, I think, $150 here if they can pick up those. They're 9 total points behind Winter Circle right now, and we'll see. Winter Circle actually usually drops Picado, but they're playing outside of it down. They just pulled out his pole, and the last one there by the 5-stack dropped out of Picado. As we're going to get a Northern Circle here, Stento, I actually enjoy these a lot on Miramar. Great kind of rotations and kind of exciting finishes, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, look at this first circle. Wait, hold up. Euro's
Where's
already into
Euro?
some
We got to find them. They dropped that AE. 2 members down for AE already. We got to tap in. Rox is looking around here. Arts is to his left. I'm not sure he's aware of that. Pio's already down.
Left? It's just Arts.
So they've gotten 3 knocks and flushes, and it's just Arts. You're right, Stento, in the very back.
Oh my gosh, it's heating up here, Blitz. I cannot wait until the scoreboard fully updates. This is getting crazy. They picked up 3 quick kills. They're closer to 15 points away from Toxic now, I think.
What's exciting for them is, you know, they're getting amped up, and this might cause them to really play aggressive, which will be exciting to watch. I mean, sometimes when you play aggressive, you know, you could go for that crash and it could just kind of end shortly, or they could start rolling some teams and really making a push here, make Toxic kind of sweat it out a little bit. So Arts here also can decide if he wants to play spoiler. He's got a Tommy gun. He's hiding in the corner here. He knows he can't really move around too much because they're hungry. They're looking for blood. Gonna try and spot Team Toxic because we have to look out for them as well, how they're gonna play this game. They're at Azar on the east side there, excuse me. Nobody's there, so they're gonna have a pretty quiet intro. Kind of smart here. The Euro squad's moving together, at least on this section, because they don't want to lose a random member as they push these buildings. Smart way to play if this is intentional.
Yeah, I mean, they've got everything to play for here. They're not going to win any money, but the goal was for these teams, get into the top 8, qualify, and make your way into the finals, where the level of gameplay is going to be stepped up. These teams from both top 8 from each region is really going to be a whole different story rather than these regions playing amongst themselves. There's just such insane talent at the top, and as you mentioned it here, Euro needs to be really careful not to lose a member while kind of walking around this compound. Art's is still here, and he's got a Tommy gun. That gun's so deadly close range, so if Euro does take a step wrong here, they might be in a little bit of trouble. But
yeah, and you know, there's bragging rights just for finishing in the top 8, right? So you got to be pretty happy if you kind of whittled it down to the final 8 after this whole progression. So there's a little bit of that as well, on top of even if there is no money for you at the regular season at the back end of the top 8.
yeah, absolutely. Again, all eyes on Team Euro right now. I can't wait to just see if they can pull it off right now.
Team Toxic centering up a little bit on the east side. Their counterparts, Toxic EU, are leaving El Zarhar, heading west. It looks like Rox Stento is getting pretty close to Arts. He was on the backside. Arts tried to leave because I think he waited long enough and thought it must be a good time to go now. But Rox wasn't with the squad and caught him. So that's going to be 4 points for them. Not bad way to start out. Now they know they're safe and they can loot in peace, which is probably the best thing for them at that point. Looks like we have Torch and Code Red battling it out in Picado. Torch again is in 3rd place, trying to get into that 2nd place spot. Right behind Winner Circle.
Code Red must have crashed because they didn't land here, right? We were here earlier. Koyomi with a nice little pre-spray onto Cocky there, gets put down to 6 health from Aaron now, and Lizard has arrived to kind of support Koyomi, and Fizz is also outside. So this is now all close range, a little bit of a 3-on-3 situation.
Oh, gets hit right to the head of the window.
Yeah, Aaron watching that exact peak right there. Fizz is going to go down. Koyomi now a window peak of his own. Fizz gets thirsted out as well, and this is just a
yeah, they've lost Fizz and Merc, so just 2 members here. This isn't the way that I don't think Torch wanted it to go. Code Red currently in 5th. They would need a big game to try and pass. Results may vary for the money spot, so maybe that's why they're playing super aggressive, because they're going balls to the wall potentially here.
Team number 4 eliminated. Toxic EU is out, Blitz.
No way, they got eliminated by Toxic. I didn't think they were going to clash that early on up on the top side of the map now. That is insane. Toxic back-to-back games on Miramar where I don't think they got any points really.
This is insane, ladies and gentlemen. We have to take a second. I know we're right in the middle of some action, but for lack of better words, these fights don't matter in terms of where these teams are going to land on the scoreboard. Blitz, we got to take a second to see the scoreboard. It's officially updated. And as you guys will see, all our focus right now is on the bottom left side of the scoreboard. Team Euro is 18 points behind Team Toxic. They've already picked up 4 in this match. So now 14. They are 14 behind Team Toxic, who just got eliminated with 0 points. Can they get 14 more points is the name of this game. We have to keep an eye on Team Euro. They're up at Tierra Bronca trying to rotate to zone.
What's important to see here is, did they get any kills at all? Can we check here? I'm not sure if the Toxic team got any. I don't think they did. Off, yeah. Okay. We're just gonna assume they got 0 kills. I didn't see anything on the kill feed for in their favor. Code Red trying to push this building here and take out the last member of Torch, and they do, as Lizard there going down. Torch is eliminated as the 10th team here in the final game. So they're going to solidify their spot. There's no way that RMV could catch them. They have such a big gap from 4th place. So Torch is locked in 3rd place right now. Winner Circle locked in 2nd, and Kinetic 7 locked in 1st. So again, K7 1st, Winner Circle 2nd, Torch 3rd. Code Red trying to potentially jump RMV if they have a big game. Let's take a look at Toxic really quick. They have 4 kills. All members are up, so it looks like they just had a potential clean squad wipe, against the Toxic EU. And
yeah,
now,
for those who might be confused, we do have 2 Team Toxics. The 8th place Team Toxic just got eliminated. This TXC Toxic that is still alive, it is on the right side of the leaderboard. Unfortunately, they will not be moving on to the finals, but the one that is holding the final 8th place qualification spot just went out. And this is the team who is contesting them, Euro, with a decent 2-2 split on the north side. honestly, that's really all I care about right now, Blitz. There's so many insane players in heavy hitting teams in here, and I just can't really take my eyes off of what's going to happen with Euro.
Yeah, what's interesting though is Euro took such a top spot here that nobody's going to be in this area at all unless it shifts north. And if it doesn't shift north, Euro should definitely reconsider trying to reposition to get closer to some teams here because they're not going to get enough points. But they're 14 away. So if they get first place, that's 10. So then they would just need 4 kills, which would most likely happen. So maybe they're going to take that kind of approach and just let the kills come and now try to go for that first place, which kind of is the move here. You know, I think it's easier to get first place than to get 14 kills at this point in the game with all these great teams left. And
obviously their play has to be to play for the 10 placement points and hope that the kills come alongside of that. But we'll see where phase 2 is going right now. Blitz, what is going to happen? Not that bad of a circle from them. They're going to have to work their way down, and there's so many good compounds by the intersection there, the warehouse, the long building across from each other. There's very valuable compounds here that Euro could move into. They're going to want to try to get one of those early before the likes of K7 or T1 kind of relocate here. T1 with an insane split right now, by the way.
I kind of missed the split that they have, or who's got the split? T1 got this split, the insane split.
Yeah, look at this. They're all over the place.
They are all the way from water treatment to above K7. Yeah, that is a pretty big split.
Take me to Euro, man. I want to see how they're going to rotate into zone.
Let's take a look here. Let's follow them.
Half the squad's already moving too. Where are they going to go?
I'm thinking
they're heading straight south.
Looks like Rox is clearing out this compound
get up into like the high areas above water treatment, which unfortunately is probably going to be the more crowded area. This has all happened really quickly, though. It's one of our last matches, so we saw a lot of teams full send. It's going to be a little bit of a weird structure to this game because there's only 9 teams, 31 players alive. So again, Euro really needs to play for good position here and play for the win. They're going to be coming down from the north side slowly, it looks like right now. And again, every step needs to be in line here because they can't lose a member. They need all of the points they can get. At this point, they need 5 kills and the win. That will get them enough points to overtake Toxic EU. And
yeah, I like what they're doing by taking that top spot. I'm just going to briefly check out Code Red here. It looks like they're trying to get some kills. They just lifted into the warehouse here, and they're battling it out with KO. We'll make sure we pay close attention to Euro. But I like that spot they took up on the mountain, Sento. It's going to give them a lot of visibility and maybe give them some time to think about how they're going to rotate in and make some strategy, make some game plans while they overview.
I'm honestly, I feel like I'm part of Team Euro. I'm super nervous right now for these guys.
Yeah, they got to be thinking it's tough because they probably want to get into the action, but they need to stay patient. So it's hard to do that sometimes, and that's probably what's going through their head. And wow, Cocky gets hit by Anto Hetty. He was holding that peek on the door.
Did you see the peacocking that Gav was doing, though? Opening the door, peeking in and out, and just a different angle took him down. A little bit of a showboat in there. That was awesome.
Yeah, also just the difference in kind of like FPP holding those peaks, kind of getting caught out. Aaron right now might be making a push up this hill. Ben's from the side. Might catch him. Tommy gun Og, and he only has 1 first aid, so he's not working with a lot.
No idea that there's a member of KO already down low in the compound down there, so he's totally sneaking up on that one, but
and he gets caught completely.
No. Unfortunate for Aaron there. 2 more members for Code Red Gaming here. We've had a really solid regular season coming on strong towards the back half of the regular season, but we'll see them this weekend if they do get eliminated here. They're definitely one of our qualifying teams, and they're going to fit in very well versus the NA side of things. This is a very competitive squad. We've seen them with some real good success, and again, they're the team that most people need to be looking out here for in the finals.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely interested to see how they fare versus the NA teams, because EU definitely, while the similar players, everyone can get pretty aggressive. EU definitely tends to play a little bit more, I think, methodical in the beginning part of the game. When EU has been, NA has just been playing insane off the rip, kind of really sending it. So, but maybe their play styles will change once they kind of match each other. And these teams will have to kind of get used to where each other are dropping and kind of holding down certain areas. Some people might kind of lose their favorite spots or favorite drops. And that can affect the team a lot. So you kind of get used to your set of drops. You know, most teams have multiple drops that they go to, but they can throw you off when you're rotating and stuff like that. Let's take a look.
Yeah, Miramar especially is one of those maps that'll just toss people for a loop. Phase 3 circle has circled up. You can see it wasn't too bad for Euro. They're going to kind of sneak their way on the north side. That is where our full focus is. Game 4 is going to be our final game of the match tonight. And if you are just joining us, this is match 30, our final match of the regular season. This is the EU season finale. 9 of the teams are going home. 8 teams are going to go on to the finals, where they will face off versus the top teams from North America for the $5,000 prize. And again, this is where we need to be focusing, ladies and gentlemen. Team Euro, they need about 15 more points from this match to overtake a team, Toxic EU, who has already been eliminated. So again, I don't even mind if we watch them throughout the rest of this match, Blitz. I just want to see how they handle it, and can they make it happen. They've already picked up 4 kills off of a hot drop. So again, this has never been a team that's afraid to take a fight. We looked at their stats a number of times. It's just unlike anything we've ever seen. And they had 90 plus kill points and only like 20 placement points. So to be in the mix here, it was truly kind of insane for them, and it's all thanks to their slay ability. Definitely not to the barely any placement points they were ever going to get here. And as we're looking at it,
let's take it down. Sorry, Euro here.
Euro in 9th place there. You can see their 27 placement points versus their 99 kill points to make up their total of 126, as they're chasing the team right above them, Team Toxic, with 144. So we took a quick look at that earlier. Just funny to see. They have more kills than several teams above them, but again, the placement just really kind of hindering these guys, or they would have been well within the top 8. But next circle is about to pop here. We're seeing RLX go out in 8th place, so they're going to get a placement point here, Blitz. That's something we need to notice. 8 teams already, and that is not what they wanted to see. They're going to have to group up and figure out their move quickly as teams start to kind of fall. Lots of teams kind of getting chopped down, in Rocks has kind of
almost lost him there from third party.
I don't know if he's their IGL or just kind of their like fragger or something, but he's definitely been the
kind of
player
scout
who's
role for sure. Flanker.
Yeah, and he's gotten caught out, unfortunately, a couple times. Once today
on Miramar
a situation.
Earlier,
yeah, a couple times, just reaching out a little bit too far when they needed him. But he's also kind of been that lead frag situation, kind of getting into the fights first, picking up some kills. So you know, it's a double-edged sword there, and right now they need him. He's already got 2 kills in this round. They need all 4 members here, with a very difficult rotation ahead of them. Bosnian scouting things out with the 6x SLR. He's kind of the last person on the squad anchoring for the Team Euro, and Godly and the rest of the squad almost getting into an edge here. What's very interesting is that compound down below is only held by a solo, I think. I don't think the rest of the Genetic 1 squad has moved down from the north yet. So it's just Ruzy.
You know, so look at this, Stento. KO is coming out of water treatment, I think, right below Euro. The thing is, this is such a strong spot, Stento, but they're not going to be in zone.
Godly hears the shots. He's sneaking over the top, Blitz.
He sees Marco, gets caught, but has to peek back over the ridge. They kind of need to focus on getting into the zone here. I think they might get caught up trying to fight KO, and they could get lost in the blue. And Euro is one of those teams that sometimes I don't think they, react to the blue as fast as they should sometimes. We've seen them kind of fighting in the blue a lot, especially in these phase 3, phase 4 situations.
Yeah, whatever they do, they got to make it happen quick here, Blitz, because they're on the edge. They're going to start to attract the attention from the likes of K7 and Winner's Circle, a couple of broken teams down there, as you can see at the longhouse down there. They want to take this fight quickly, get these kills, and move on. It's just a 3-man, I think, for KO right now. Nocino peeking over the top.
Rock's got a big flank on the right side. He's got a big role to play, and he gets Snippy. We caught it right at the right moment now. He's got to continue to move right to maybe get another viewpoint, but the blue's also coming in. Euro has that car ready. Third party coming in from T1. That's not going to help here.
Code Red Gaming is also in the mix here. I didn't see from where, but they took down Nocino, I think. or maybe as you said, T1 did, and Code Red Gaming took down a member of KO. Looks like Bosnian and Godly are going to get into vehicles. They've got a little bit of a plateau there, but look at Marco is still in the smoke. He's going to try and run him over. Nothing connecting with the vehicle in here. Got to be careful sending it too close to the compound, Blitz. What is he's going all the way down there.
Yeah, I think Bosnian tried to leave the car here for rocks, but it's ended up just going to cause a little bit of an issue. Now he's got to worry if he can even get in. Godly goes down to Big Dog Stento, so it's just Bosnian left.
Oh my God.
He's going to try to get this revive.
Such a tough rotation for them. They didn't prioritize zone. They wanted to get the kills onto KO, but there was just too many third parties that could see it. They're not done yet, though. They still have 2 members. If they can find their way into zone and clutch the chicken, they will be able to get the job done. They have a vehicle blitz. It's just, look at the whole map is here. They're going to be getting shot at by everyone. They need to try to find their rotation. Looks like they're going to go on foot.
Yeah, it's a little late now, but I was actually thinking, you know, they could have just crashed this building. I wonder if they even thought about that at all. I mean, obviously, hindsight now is a little late, but the shots are just coming in. Rocks, risky kind of jump there before he heals. Could have got clipped. They do have this car. I think it might be worth taking. Do they have any more smoke, Stento? They have some smokes. Maybe they'll go for a smoke and crash in the vehicle. Harder in FPP to make a move like that. It's kind of hard to leave them, Stento. I think we're gonna just stay on board for right now.
This is where we need to be. They're the only storyline to follow. This rotation is going to be so tough with T1 looking at them, but they are able to crash this compound, buy themselves some time, have a little bit of an edge to work out of here. So if they do get in, got to be careful that the crash doesn't knock you. Nades might come out because T1 is very close.
T1 rotating back. They're still not in though, Stento. And is the zone coming in? It is slowly here.
Gikas has a really crazy angle out there as well. I think he might be able to kind of side swipe these Euro members, and Euro wants the rest of the lobby to get over here as soon as possible, honestly.
None of the compound is in. Euro almost goes down.
Goodness.
I mean, Bosnian almost goes down there.
Aids.
Yeah, this is not good.
He's got to relocate to kind of...
Good job getting out of that building, Stento. That was kind of a heady play there. Unfortunately, going to go down. Rocks is actually trying to bail on the right side. Might want to hide here, but it goes down, and that's going to be it for Euro. Great attempt.
Valiant effort.
Yeah, great attempt from Euro to try to get in there. They picked up, I think, 5 kills. But yeah, that battle versus KO just kind of got lost in the sauce there, and they go out. They were so close in 5th place. If they just could stay along a little bit longer here.
Yeah, I think they're going to kind of regret not piling into a car and crashing something, but such a valiant effort there from Euro right now. 3-man of T1, and Phoenix peeking over the top here is going to take down the final member of Winner's Circle. Quickly down to our final 3 teams here, Blitz, and this is our final match of the regular season, ladies and gentlemen. We just locked in our top 8 teams that will be punching their ticket to the finals, which is going to be this weekend, 3 p.m. Eastern time on both Saturday and Sunday. So make sure you mark your calendars. We're going to be watching the best of the best console players and teams battle it out for the $5,000 prize and the right to represent for their region, NA or EU. What is the better region? I want to see it in chat right now, ladies and gentlemen. Which region is more well represented here? I know we're in an EU show tonight, but I want to see it in the chat here, and let's see what we get.
Code Red trying to make some last-minute moves. Look at them, 13 kills in this match. And I think what I was talking about here is that they could potentially leapfrog on RMV if they have a big game. Only 2 members left, but they've whittled down T1 to 2 members. Infernix knocked, but Sticka's coming back with a big trade on the keeps here, and he's been knocked to 4, so he's bleeding out a lot faster. I don't know if Cocky's going to be able to get him.
Needs to be good.
Did he get that double kill nade?
I think he got a thirst and a knock. So he got one of them. They're up to 14 kills now, but I think there's going to be 1 res that happens up there. So T1 will get back to 2 strong, and TXE as a 4-man kind of just hanging on back there with all sorts of angles. Yeah, they are going to get back to 2 strong here, and it's somewhat anticlimactic there. We're holding on to hope for Euro, who was so close to qualifying, and right now we're kind of just letting things run the motions here, and I think TXC are probably going to get this chick, and they've got such a wide spread on the zone, and they're kind of just waiting for the solo and duo to kind of hash things out in the northeast side, northwest side of zone. Sorry.
Yeah, and Toxic have had some good games. They took a game. They've got at least one win in the tournament or in the showdown qualifying portion, maybe two. They could finish up here with another one, but they just ended up not really with enough overall points to be in the top 8, unfortunately, but they're finishing strong here. It would be nice to kind of end with a dub. As T1 takes out the last member of Code Red, their cocky's down. Just stick us and Ruzi here. Frozen's going to head up from the west side. Got a couple frags. He's in kind of fragging distance now. Care package down on the right side as well. Tayson overlooking with the K9. Spotted one of the members. Ruzi coming out. We're going to hop back into Frozen's view. He's sneaking up. Electing to go up in the crouch position instead of going for a frag. He wants these last few points here. Benjo flanking around on the opposite side. Benjo catches Ruzi. It's just Stickoss left. Hopefully he goes out fighting here.
For TXT here. It's just Stickoss. Let's see if he can show us something special. Drops Benjo. So here we go. Can we end the regular season for EU on a little bit of a 4v1 squad wipe?
Wow, that nade didn't do really much damage as I thought it would there. Another nade coming in for Frozen, and we end with a little explosion from Frozen. And that is going to wrap up our qualifying for EU. They actually ended up finishing first before NA because we have one more NA day to go tomorrow on Thursday. As you see, Toxic finishing in first place for the last match, T1 in second, and Code Red in third. Winner Circle right kind of on the outside in fourth. And in Euro, the team we were tracking to try and make a comeback, in fifth place with 5 points. They needed 14.
So close, man.
Or 18, I think, total to catch Toxic Esports. So they are sighing there. Before you see us, let's just take one last look at the scoreboard before Stento and I wave at you guys. Sorry here. We got so many different screens here to choose from. We'll take a look here. Our final 8 as it loads in. Obviously, the scores will be a little different after this last game, but I don't think anybody really changed position. I was looking at Code Red. They actually had a bigger kind of distance with RMV than I thought there originally. T1, I don't think was going to be able to catch Code Red because they just had a really big game there.
I think we're locked in there.
I think we're locked in where we're
top
at.
8. Yeah, I think the scoreboard, at least on the top 8, that's what it's going to finish. And again, Kinetic 7 all the way down to Team Toxic will be heading to the finals this weekend versus 9 North American teams, which will be hashed out tomorrow at 8 p.m. Right here on Blitz's channel.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting, Stento. Let's say hello to everybody or goodbye if people are heading out now. But thank you guys for tuning in to the tournament so far. Even, there's been a lot of the same people here day in and day out during the qualifier. So we sincerely want to thank you guys for tuning into all the action and being here with us. And also shout out to all the teams that played in the event, stayed through, dedicated the time to play for a chance to play against NA and for $5,000. Some teams walking away with a little bit of cash right now. And then the additional $4,000 will be kind of coming at the end of these next 2 weekends. So cheers to everybody. Anything else, Stento, you want to mention?
Yeah, just want to alert everyone what's happening moving forward. We mentioned it a couple of times, but just as we close out here, maybe Blitz can pull up the winners of today's matches just to give you guys a little bit of refresher of who was showing out today on our final day of games. But as we do bring the screen up, I just want to remind everyone, tomorrow 8 p.m. Eastern is when we will have the final day for NA. And then there's just no time to waste. We're heading right into the finals, which is going to be Saturday, Sunday this weekend at 3 p.m. Eastern and Saturday, Sunday next weekend at 3 p.m. Eastern. And just a quick peek at today's winners. Code Red Gaming taking the first match of the day. Kinetic 7 took match 2, kicked out with match 3. And then we just watched TXC Toxic take match 4 of the evening. But that's it for me, Blitz. I want to thank everyone again for all the insane support for the event. I want to see even more for the finals this weekend, though. And yeah, that's it. Thank you, guys. We'll see you tomorrow and this weekend.
Yeah, make sure you guys are sticking around. 3 p.m. on the weekend. That's going to be 7 p.m. GMT time for everybody in the UK. So thank you all again. Have a good night and a good rest of your day for everybody in NA. Adios, everybody.